This broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. This broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. This broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. This broadcast will begin in 1 minute. This broadcast will begin in 30 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
He's going to take it himself for a championship.
A double play wins it for free. Jordan to the end zone. What a catch. The Kites on touchdown.
Into the windup goes at the buzzer.
Wins it. The championship.
This broadcast is a production of the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Good evening and welcome to the Cornell School District campus in Franklin Terry Stadium. Tonight, the WJPA Sports Network brings you a crucial Black Hills matchup with a 1A playoff spot on the line. Hi, everyone. From Coriopolis, I'm Bob Gregg, along with Jack Sacco, floor director Jason Tennant, Brett Gambita, and Joey Cipoletti working the cameras tonight, with Danny Flynn producing in our downtown Washington studios. Both teams in our game have lost to the leaders, Fort Cherry and Bishop Canevin. Both have beaten the winless teams, Burgettstown and Sarah Catholic. Tonight's game is the final conference contest for Chartiers-Houston. The Bucks clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight, having already beaten Monessen. Cornell keeps control of its own destiny with a win, but would have to win at Monessen next week. Otherwise, a three-way tie would end up in the hands of the WPIAL points tiebreaker gurus. Tonight's game on the WJPA Sports Network is brought to you in part by Washington County College Center, operated by Community College of Beaver County. By Quality Quick Printing, your Team Spirit printing headquarters since 1978. Online, qualquick.com. By Washington Financial Bank, for 125 years, proud to be the bank that gets you. By Schweinebraten Bus Lines, the shiniest school buses in town, and they're looking for drivers like you. By Washington County Human Services, take the first step toward a healthier life. Call 724-228-1234. By CNX Dreamfields, making your dream field come true. By Slovenian Savings and Loan, big enough to serve, small enough to care. By the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, celebrating our region's rich athletic tradition. And by Advanced Orthopedics and Rehabilitation and Advanced Surgical Hospital. It's senior night here at Frank Lettieri Stadium in Coriopolis. Coach's Corner coming your way in a few minutes, but right after the break, Jack will run down the highlights of last week's action for Washington Greene County teams when our pregame show continues here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Since 1978, Quality Quick Printing has been a single source for all your business, organization, and corporate printing needs. A full-service digital document solution center, high-speed digital copying, large format, design and finishing, direct mail services, and so much more. Call their print solutions specialists to help with your next project. 724-225-9427 or visit qualquick.com.
Welcome back to our pregame show ahead of tonight's Black Hills Conference matchup between Chartiers-Houston and Cornell. Let's take a look at last week's action around the area. Trinity took over sole possession of first place in the 4A Big Six Conference with a 42-18 win over Chartiers Valley. Jonah Williamson ran for over 100 yards and scored 4 touchdowns on the ground. Owen Gardner compiled over 200 yards and a touchdown on the ground as well. The Hillers defense snagged 4 second-half interceptions, including a 50-yard pick six for Daniel Glass. Tyler Eber ran for nearly 280 yards, scoring 6 touchdowns, leading Thomas Jefferson past Ringgold 42-6. The loss drops the Rams to 4-4 overall and 1-2 in the Big Six, a game back of the final automatic playoff spot. Dimitri Lowe caught a Dennis Hawkins 37-yard pass for Ringgold's lone score. Cannon McMillan fell to North Allegheny 21-13 as a potential game-tying drive ended with a fumble at the 1-yard line. The win marked the 200th at NA for head coach Art Walker. Ty Jansma threw for 150 yards and a touchdown for Cannon Mack. Number 2, Peters Township got 250 yards passing and 3 scores from Nolan DeLucia as the Indians improved to 8-0 overall, winning at South Fayette 31-7. Reston Lehman caught 2 of the touchdown passes for Peters. McGuffey dropped its 18th consecutive game in a 49-0 shutout loss to number 1 Avonworth. The Highlanders hold the 4th longest active streak in the WPIAL. Wash High defeated Charleroi 69-9 to claim one of the 2A Century Conference's playoff spots. Tristan Reed scored 4 times, 3 passing, and another on the ground. Jaquay Heyman, Blaze Naraskovich, and Amir Nelson caught the scoring passes from Reed. Heyman also added a 16-yard touchdown run. Waynesburg lost at Keystone Oaks 21-14, clinching an automatic bid for the Golden Eagles and knocking the Raiders into the wild card hopeful category. With Charleroi and Stowe Rocks ahead, Waynesburg will need to win both and get to 5-5 to be in the playoff mix. Fort Cherry throttled Bishop Cannon 56-19, led by quarterback Matt Sigg. The senior opened the game with a 70-yard touchdown run, setting a new all-time mark for total yards, one held for more than a decade by Stowe Rocks' Lenny Williams. Sigg ran for 285 yards and 3 touchdowns in the game, adding punt return and interception return scores, extending his WPIAL touchdown scoring mark. Chartiers-Houston blanked Sarah Catholic 35-0, putting the Bucks in control of their own playoff destiny. Brody McCreary caught 2 of Aaron Walsh's 3 scoring passes. Julius Livingston, Dom Andrioli, and Austin Ruck also scored for the Bucks. Burgettstown was defeated 40-21 by Monessen after allowing the Greyhounds to score 26 points in the third quarter. The loss ended Burgettstown's faint playoff hopes. Bentworth took control of one of the Tri-County South's 3 automatic playoff spots with a 35-13 win over Jeff Morgan. Ben Hayes ran for a touchdown in each quarter to lead the Bearcats to victory. The loss for JM marked the Rockets' first regular season loss in nearly 2 years. Carmichael's won its second game of the season, beating Avella 14-13. A missed extra point in the third quarter proved to be the difference in the game. Will Murray scored twice in the first half for the Mikes. Chaz Rush connected with Bryce Wright for a pair of touchdown passes in the middle quarters for the Eagles. Beth Center blanked Mapletown 48-0, getting 2 touchdowns each from Enzo Brown and Sincere Cruz, plus scoring runs from Tegan Veach, Homer Headley, and Evan Miller. California led 30-0 at the half, cruising past West Green 50-0, clinching a playoff spot for the Trojans. Malachi Peak scored 3 touchdowns. Lane and Abercrombie added a pair of scores for the 7-1 Trojans, who lead the conference by 1 game over Bentworth and Jeff Morgan. Coach's Corner is coming your way next. Chartiers-Houston's Dan Liss is up first, then Cornell's Ed Dawson, when our pregame show continues on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
You deserve a bank that drives your business. One that's with you for the long haul and knows how to keep your business rolling. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on delivering customized solutions, ones that are built for the unique journey your business is on. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Join the team at Schweinebraten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebraten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebraten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
Here in Coach's Corner with Chartiers-Houston head coach Dan Liss. Dan, first I want to look back. Not all that long ago, Chartiers-Houston was 0-10 and struggled on both sides of that to really get things turned around. What's different today?
I thought about that a lot this week. We were 0-10. We were a young team that year. And when we came in last year, the biggest thing is we wanted just to compete. And this year at the beginning of the year, I said I don't want to compete just in games. I want to compete for a playoff spot, and that's what we end up here tonight in is a battle for the playoffs.
What's it mean to Chartiers-Houston to be in control of your own playoff destiny?
It means a lot, but I think when we came in here and tried to change the culture here a little bit, I think we told the kids compete, do the small things, and winning will take care of itself. Touch the line in sprints, make sure you clean up after yourself, all that stuff. All that stuff wins games. And where we're at right now this year because of things like that.
got off to a nice start a year ago, and then struggled down the finish this year. In there battling, and do you have a finish in there?
I think, yeah, we do. We've been very positive this year. We knew after the win against Burgettstown last year, we went 0-for in games. We weren't able to win anything else in conference, or the last game of the season last year was an out-of-conference game. We weren't able to win that either. So we ended with 5 straight losses, and we told the kids after the Burgettstown game, this is last year where we stopped, and this is where we're going to pick it up again this year. And getting 2 wins in the conference after that have helped us tremendously. And the kids are a little bit different the last couple of weeks, the way we coach them. Usually at this time in October, some of them might be checking out for another sport. They're fully bought into what we're doing here.
When you look at Cornell, obviously Khalil Johnson, number 20, you got to know where he is.
You have to. I mean, I think every coach in the conference knows you have to know where he's at on every play of the game, whether it's offense or defense. I think they do a good job moving him around offensively and defensively. But I trust our defense coordinator, Rusty Springer. He's been here since I was playing here. So I think he has a good game plan defensively, and then I think we have a solid offensive game plan as well.
What do you want to try to get done offensively?
We want to score. We struggled to score points in the conference last year, and that's something we've been able to do this year so far. And it just is a testament to the kids who put the work in the offseason, because you don't show up in August to win games right now in October. You win those games when we started working out in the weight room back in February.
Besides scoring, what do you have to do tonight to win?
Tackle. Got to tackle. Have to make sure football's about tackling and blocking. We got to be able to tackle on defense.
Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Chartiers-Houston head coach Dan Liss. More on our pregame show on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Friday Night Lights brings our communities together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm County Commissioner Nick Sherman, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential hotline today at 724-228-1234. Together we can fight addiction and build a strong future for Washington County. 724-228-1234.
My Dream Field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My Dream Field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My Dream Field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
Here in Coach's Corner now with Cornell head coach Ed Dawson. Coach, we've been doing this a couple of times each over the last couple of years. You guys are right in a position where we might get to do this again in the playoffs. How big is this game for the Raiders?
It's a huge game for us. It's the next game, but, I mean, we understand the significance of what's going on at this time, and, we're prepared, and hopefully the chips fall in our way.
I know coaches like that next game mentality, but it's impossible for coaches, for kids, for fans to not know how big it is, how important win tonight would be.
Yeah, we've kind of, just talking ever since the Fort Cherry game that we're in playoff mode. So, we're treating every game like a playoff game just because we know now and understand the significance of tonight's game and next week as well. So it's our destiny's in our hands, and we got to control it.
You guys have been to the playoffs for the last 6 years. Chartiers-Houston not long ago was winless in the season and really struggled for a number of years. Any benefit to you guys, any advantage to you guys having been down that road?
I'd like to think that experience and just understanding the moment, which is something we talk about to our kids all the time. When a game gets a little hairy or close, we're prepared, and we've had a couple close wins this year, so we're hoping that we've been in this territory before kind of gives us an advantage.
And you have kids that have been down this road. I know you have some young kids, but you got some veteran guys as well.
Yeah, Khalil's been a 4-year player for us. Stuckey played last year in the deep run. Nick Bennett has been a 4-year starter. So we've got a couple guys up front as well that have some 3- and 4-year experience. So
talk about Khalil and how important he is to getting you where you're at right now.
Yeah, I mean, he is who he is. I call him Mr. Do-It-All because he's thrown touchdowns. He's got over 1,000 yards in returns in special teams. He'll probably get 1,000 yards a night. I think he's pretty close. I'm not sure exactly at a number. But, yeah, I mean, he's a special player. He is who he is, and he's part of why we're successful.
I know Dan's got eyes on number 20 for you guys. My guess is that you're looking at Aaron Walsh. What Aaron Walsh is doing, you guys are going to pay a lot of attention to.
Yeah, he, number 9, number 8. He's got some guys that are doing some really good things on film. So, you know what I mean? We're prepared, and, you know, everybody's got to be treated the same. So,
what do you have to do tonight to win?
Continue to respond to the adversity that we've had, and you know, mainly just finish plays on defense and offense. Just be patient, stay the course, and you know, we know we can score. We just have to not get out of sorts when we're off schedule.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Cornell head coach Ed Dawson with us on our pregame show. More when we come back here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Slovenian Savings and Loan is here for your life, your future, and your dreams. While life's pace seems to get faster and faster, Slovenian Savings and Loan still stands by its traditional values of honesty, integrity, and building personal relationships. Enjoy all modern conveniences to make banking easy, combined with a down-to-earth, face-to-face way of doing business. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
This is Coach Guy Montecalvo for the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. We'd love to have you join us in celebration of outstanding athletes, coaches, and teams from our area. As a member of our chapter, you can nominate potential candidates, then vote on the nominees for each year's induction banquet. And you can help spread the word about our region's rich athletic tradition. Find us online or hit us up on Facebook and be a part of something exceptional. The Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame.
Welcome back to our pregame show ahead of our Black Hills matchup here on the WJPA AM and the WJPA Sports Network. Thanks to both head coaches chatting with us here during pregame. It's hard to imagine, but the WPIAL football regular season ends next week. With that in mind, here's a look at tonight's schedule for Washington and Greene County teams. Canton-McMillan got some help last Friday, but could really use one more win in the 6A Quad County. The best shot at that win comes tonight when the Big Macs visit Norwin. The two teams are tied for the last two playoff spots, one game ahead of three other teams looking to get in the mix. Canton-McMillan clinches with a win tonight. After battling three straight Allegheny 6 potential playoff teams, Peters Township gets what should be a little breather visiting Baldwin. A win clinches a share of the title for Peters. The Highlanders haven't won since the first week of the 2023 season, some 27 games back. Trinity survived the top of the Big Six, sweeping Chartiers Valley, Ringgold, and Thomas Jefferson. Now the Hillers go to Fayette County to play Laurel Highlands, needing one win to clinch the conference title. It would be the first at Trinity since 1986. Ringgold goes to the beach at Bell Vernon, the Rams trying to keep wildcard hopes alive. Wash High hosts Carleton in what should be a final tune-up for the Little Prexies ahead of next week's Century Conference Showdown at Seton LaSalle, a game we'll have for you on the WJPA Sports Network. Waynesburg home to Charleroi, the Raiders needing to win out to polish their wildcard resume. In addition to our game, Burgettstown heads to Munhall to take on Sarah Catholic, both looking for their first Black Hills Conference win. Tri-County South action includes our other feature game here on the WJPA Sports Network, Avella at Jeff Morgan. Nate Rigotti, Bill Duquette, and the crew have a dandy one where the host Rockets look to rebound from their first regular season loss in nearly 2 years, one where the visiting Eagles need a win to stay in the AQ category and avoid falling into the 1A wildcard quagmire. Bentworth heads to Mapletown, the Bearcats clinching a playoff spot with a win. California hosts Beth Center in the Ed Woods Bowl. And Carmichael's goes cross-county to West Green. Non-conference action tonight, McGuffey playing at Highlands. Fort Cherry visits Shenango. A year ago, When these two teams met, Cornell won in Meadowlands 49-14, intercepting 3 passes, adding a punt return touchdown in the win. The victory was in the middle game of the Raiders' 3-game win streak that put Cornell in the playoffs. The loss was the 4th of 5 straight that ended the Bucs' 2024 season, something Dan Liss referenced in his comments with us. Cornell has won the last 3 meetings between these two, the only matchups between the schools in the last 20 years. In the 10 years prior to that, the Bucs won 5 of 7 against Cornell, including the 1997 game in Meadowlands, the night Chartiers-Houston switched from Saturday afternoon home games to Friday night lights. In that game, some 28 years ago, Sean Clayton scored the first ever under-the-lights points for the Bucs, a 19-yard first-quarter field goal. Corey Shaw scored on a 3-yard run in the second, giving the Bucs a 10-0 halftime lead. After intermission, Shaw added a second short TD run. Then the pass game took over. Chartiers-Houston quarterback Ed Malinowski threw a pair of scoring throws to Jason Sopiak, wrapped around Brad Carlisle's 23-yard pick 6. Jake Cohan scored from a yard out in the 4th, Cornell's only touchdown in the game. A couple of more notes for you. Cornell just a decade removed from not even having their own football team. The 2012 through 2015 seasons were played under a co-op with Quaker Valley, including a semifinal appearance in 2021 and a quarterfinals loss to Fort Cherry last year. The Bucs trying to get back to the playoffs for the first time since 2021, and if they get there, they'll be trying for the first Chartiers-Houston football playoff win since beating Clairton 14-7 in the opening round of the 2000 tournament. The Bucs have lost 14 straight WPIL playoff games, but that's a discussion for later on down the road. Just a couple of minutes away from kickoff here in Coraopolis as Cornell hosts Chartiers-Houston with at least some control of the 3rd Black Hills automatic playoff berth on the line. If it's the Bucs winning tonight, they claim that 3rd spot themselves. Kickoff coming up when we come back here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
In sports and in life, accidents happen, and sometimes people get hurt. The doctors at Advanced Orthopedics and Rehabilitation specialize in orthopedic surgery, joint replacement, foot and ankle reconstruction, hand and upper extremity surgery, sports medicine and rehabilitation, and game time medical services. With main offices near Wild Things Park and offices in Waynesburg, Charleroi, McMurray, and on Vanadium Road near St. Clair Hospital, you can count on Advanced Orthopedics and Rehabilitation.
It's been a busy week for WPIL fall sports steering committees. Soccer brackets were released on Wednesday. That action got started last night with Bell Vernon beating Ringgold in the 3A boys bracket. 2-1 final score there, so it's on to the next round for Bell Vernon. And the first Washington Greene County team eliminated in the soccer playoffs. We got the volleyball playoff brackets released today. Let me take a look at the Chartiers-Houston squads and where they're at. The Chartiers-Houston boys soccer team, seeded 13th, will play tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at Peters Township against number 4 Beaver County Christian. On a volleyball court, this will be Monday, 7:30 at Peters Township, the second game of a preliminary round doubleheader. Number 17, Chartiers-Houston, will play number 16, McGuffey. That's in the 2A girls volleyball bracket. Opening game there, by the way, Ringgold and Blackhawk in the 3A bracket. And then back to soccer for the girls. Number 13 seed Chartiers-Houston will be at number 4 Springdale Tuesday night at 6 o'clock. For a couple of rounds, you got to win, or you can put all the gear back in the equipment room because it all comes to an end. A little later on tonight, we have a couple of things for you. At halftime, of course, our regular feature, the PAC football report. Also on Wednesday, in addition to the soccer brackets being released, the PIAA released the announcement that Dr. Bob Lombardi is going to be retiring come the end of the year. We were part of a media scrum with the 40-year athletic administrator, and had a chance to talk to Dr. Bob, a longtime friend of our program, and certainly appreciate that. And you'll hear some of the comments from Bob Lombardi, who will end his tenure as executive director, having taken over in 2012, and that'll be coming your way at the half. We'll also take a look at some playoff possibilities. We'll deep dive into each of the conferences involving Washington and Greene County teams. How are we at the next and the last week of the season, Jack?
Yeah, it's hard to believe. It feels like it was just yesterday. We were at Wash High Stadium for that Week 0 matchup between Wash High and McGuffey. I mean, this time's flown. I mentioned to our camera guys, Joey and Brett, in the pregame, we finally get some real football weather here, too. Nice and chilly, and, we're right in the thick of it outdoors.
I mentioned in the interview with Ed Dawson that Cornell's been in the playoffs 3 of the last 4 and 4 of the last 6 years. Prior to that, had not made the playoffs since their last year ahead of the 4-year co-op experiment with Quaker Valley. And Cornell hasn't just gotten to the playoffs. 2 wins in the 2021 bracket. That's the last year Chartiers-Houston qualified. A win last year, and then had to face conference foe Fort Cherry in that quarterfinals, and was a dandy football game.
Yeah, that was a great game. I mean, it really took everything Fort Cherry had, which we know that's a lot, to take down this Cornell team in the playoffs last year. It was a great football game, one that Cornell certainly had an opportunity to win, and that's what they're fighting for. I think that's certainly in the mind of Ed Dawson. Get this team back to the postseason and give it a run, because they have talented ball players, and they think that they can go on a run.
Bucks have been to the playoffs just once in the past 8 years. Made it 3 years in a row from 2014 through 2016, and 5 of 7 starting in 2010. But and the Bucks ahead of that had made it almost every year. If you look from 1999 through 2011, only missed the playoff in 2 seasons. But I mentioned the Bucks have not won a playoff game since 2000. Just that's a staggering stat.
Yeah, I was 4 years from being born at that point.
Referee is Anthony Rotolini. I apologize. Anthony Rotolini. George Hickler is the umpire. Gary Sladek and Alex Joswiak will work the line of scrimmage. The defensive secondary has Joseph Pritchard and Matt Filipiak for officiating for the PIAA. Week 8, it's actually the 9th game, and don't get me started on all of that. Cornell wants the football, and the Raiders are likely going to do about anything they can to get the ball into the hands of Khalil Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson's a very talented player, and he can take over a game for you.
He's caught 6 touchdown passes. He's thrown 2 touchdown passes. He's run for 10 other touchdowns. Coach Dawson talked about the 1,000-yard mark. Johnson is 68 yards off of that. And now the Raiders making a little shift. They move Johnson up to the 25-yard line and going to kick it, and he's going to swing back and pick it up at the 18 between the numbers and the sideline. Great coverage, great kick by the Bucks to pin Johnson back in deep. He is able to get out to about the 34-yard line.
I like that little cat and mouse, though. I think Cornell expecting it, they're going to kick it short, and they move Johnson up to kind of play into that.
Nick Bennett, Salomon Bance, Kenny Wade, Jason Johnson, Zaire Dupree on the offensive line. Quarterback is MJ Stuckey with Latae Littlejohn behind him. Khalil Johnson, Terrence Collington, Isaiah Dawson, and DJ Stuckey, the wide receivers. First and 10, they actually spot the ball forward to the 35, so 17 on the Johnson kickoff return. First and 10, Stuckey with a play fake, rolls near side, throws the ball, and the pass is caught in Chartiers. No, it is not caught, not able to pull it in. Incomplete, intended for Latae Littlejohn.
Yeah, I think Stuckey
Johnson kickoff return. First and 10, Stuckey with a play fake, rolls near.
I think Stuckey just waited a little too long to get rid of that ball. He had a man wide open in the post. Really right off the snap, waited, still found an open man, but Littlejohn couldn't hang on.
Well, in a game like this with playoff implications, situations like that, plays like that, you hope you don't have to go back and look at that again and think, man, we were right there. Second and 10, running play. It's Johnson going left, made a man miss. He's up over the 40. And Aaron Walsh able to wrap around the arm and the waist and pull Johnson down, but not before he moves into Bucks territory at the 48.
Big time run, just a little trap up the middle, and Johnson bounces it after getting past the line of scrimmage. Walsh chased him down. It was a big play, honestly, to chase him down because Johnson got a big block downfield. He could have maybe broken that all the way.
Aaron Walsh was not going to give up more than what happened. 17 yards on the run. And now Khalil Johnson goes out of the game. Single back with Stuckey is Terrence Collington. Running play coming up the middle and fighting his way forward for a couple.
That was a direct snap to Collington.
Collington has just over 200 rushing yards on the year, picks up 2 on this direct snap.
Yeah, you mentioned the big play, missed opportunity early in the game. We saw that play out on Saturday in the W&J Westminster game. Westminster missed what would have certainly been a touchdown pass on a drop, and from there W&J took control of that game.
Johnson back in the game. Two back set behind the right tackle. Toss to Johnson, put a foot in the ground, bow it back, ran out of a shoe tackle. Inside the 40, down the far sideline, the 25, and finally out of bounds near the 20-yard line.
That's some run after contact right there. Little toss to Johnson. Sees a hole, gets the opening. It looked like it was going to be a decent gain to maybe get close to the first down marker, but he breaks a tackle and is able to turn that into an explosive.
That carry good for 30 yards and a first down. Johnson needed 68 yards to 1,000 coming into the game. He's carried twice and already has 2/3 of that at 41 yards on the evening. First and 10 at the Chartiers-Houston 16-yard line. Opening minutes of this first quarter. First possession of the game. Stuckey does a spinorama, now throws the ball to the sideline. Man is open. It's Dawson, touchdown. Isaiah Dawson got behind the coverage. The roll out to the right, and that led the right-handed quarterback Stuckey right into a perfect throwing situation.
I really like that play design. You give Stuckey a lead blocker / flat receiver as well, with the running back getting out in front. Didn't matter. He made a great throw on the run to hit his man in stride.
16th touchdown pass of the year thrown by M.J. Stuckey. For Isaiah Dawson, it's his 5th scoring reception. Extra point snap goes over the head of the holder. Kicker going back trying to pick it up. And now the loose ball, the Bucks don't touch it. And finally, when it's picked up by the Raiders, the tackle is made. The try fails. 9:58 to play. First quarter. Cornell 6, Chartiers-Houston nothing. The kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Whether in the stands or watching from home, show your team spirit with custom printing from Quality Quick. They are your local partner for vinyl banners, fan apparel, and yard signs to help celebrate your home team. Quality Quick has been a proud print supplier for local schools and boosters in the community since 1978. Don't just watch the game, be part of it. Call 724-225-9427 or visit qualquick.com.
Back to our pregame interviews, Ed Dawson said, "We know we can score." Well, sure enough, right down the field. Kickoff caught and then knelt down at the 35-yard line. The Bucks had a little room there, but kneeling it down was Tommy Zura. The Bucks will take it in good field position, exactly the same yard line that Cornell started at.
And after a great drive from Cornell, you know, the test for this offense for Chartiers-Houston is, you know, how can you answer? I'm not saying you need to get it all back, you know, one play, one drive or whatever, but, you know, try to get the momentum a little bit, move the chains a couple times.
Emiliano Perez, Cam Durkes, Mason Kasparowski, Jake Lau, Isaac Kettler, the offensive front. 1st and 10, running play going over the right side, powering ahead. Carry forward for about just a couple for the Bucks. And Dom Andrioli, the ball carrier.
Yeah, a little pull from the tight end across and created a little space on that right side of the formation.
Aaron Walsh, the quarterback. Andrioli, the running back. Luba, Zura, McCreary, Livingston, and Coomer, receiver positions. 2nd down and 6 from the 39. And again, it'll be running play to the right side up over the 40-yard line. Andrioli, 2 straight carries, and he's picked up 7 yards total.
Yeah, and it sets up a 3rd and short. That's always a good position to be in when you have someone like Walsh who, you know, of course can make some plays with his arm, but also from that quarterback spot, very dangerous to be able to take off and run.
Walsh came almost to the sideline to get the play. Now makes his way to the huddle. Plenty of time. 20 on the play clock as the Bucks come to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 3, just across the 42-yard line. Walsh handles the low snap, fakes to Andrioli. Walsh runs right side, got hit, and shoved back from the 44, does not get the 1st down.
Yeah, he got close, but right as he was approaching that lead stick, all his momentum started going the other way. Good job rallying there for Cornell to make sure that there wasn't any pile pushed forward.
650-plus rushing yards on the year for Aaron Walsh, the 5'10 senior quarterback. And the Bucks with 4th and 1 at their own 44-yard line. Just under 8 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Cornell leading 6-0. Split ends both ways. Power eye backfield. Walsh barking hard, trying to draw someone offside. Now looks to the Bucks sideline, gets back under center again. And the Bucks are going to walk it off. And the Raiders stay onside, and Chartiers-Houston uses a timeout. 7:39 to play, opening quarter. Cornell 6, Chartiers-Houston nothing. Back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
You deserve a bank that lifts up your business, that shares your spirits, and your taste for success. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on crafting solutions that are as one-of-a-kind as your business is. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
7:39 to go, first quarter. Bucks try to draw. Cornell offside.
I still think you go for this here, even out of the timeout. I think, you know, obviously with the uncertainty of punting in high school football, I think a 4th and 1 from, you know, close to midfield, I think that's a situation where you definitely take that chance of going for it.
And we already have seen one special teams play that went awry. That was the extra point attempt. And Walsh comes out with Andrioli. Behind him, trips to the near side, single receiver to the top of the formation. 4th down and 1. Walsh from the shotgun, gets the snap, runs to the right side, gets the first down, and out to about the 46-yard line. Got 2, needed 1.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to get outside, but it got sealed off right as he was making that move, and Walsh smartly cuts it back up inside where there was a small enough gap where he was able to dive through.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to realize this isn't the home run, but a single scores a run. And that's what he got. Actually, 3 yards credit on that carry. Trips to the left again. 1st and 10 from the 47. Walsh looks over the middle of the field, throws the ball deep, pass is overthrown, had Andrioli open. But, boy, Andrioli didn't seem to react well to that pass coming at him.
Yeah, I don't think that he saw it. And I think by the time he did, it was a little bit behind him. I think if Andrioli sees that off the rip, he probably can adjust his route to get there. Also, Walsh, I was a little surprised. He had his look downfield and took the shot, which is the right play. Had Brody McCreary in the flat wide open, no one within 15 yards of him.
So 2nd down and 10 from the 47. Single receiver to the Cornell side, and defender walked into the neutral zone, and no flag. Boy, we had a great look. I am at the 47-yard line. I'm looking right down the line, and the left defender walked right into right across, maybe clear across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, his whole upper body was certainly at least hovering over the line of scrimmage, so it should have been a clear call.
A loss of a yard on the play. So now 3rd down and 11 for the Bucks. And we know you've heard a ding and a beep every once in a while. We apologize for that, but just all to enhance your viewing and listening experience. Walsh steps up, throws to the sideline, and led his receiver too far, Julius Livingston, the target. And the incomplete pass brings up 4th down. Boy, a couple of situations there. One, the pass that Andrioli didn't react to well. The offside that wasn't called. And now the incomplete pass, and the Bucks, 4th and 11 at midfield.
That pass there with the wide hashes, it makes it difficult to complete that near side pass. Things are a little tighter. Right there, I think that's what you just saw.
4th down and 11. Andrioli booms a punt. It's going to hit inside the 10, roll inside the 5, and the Bucks are going to get down and down it at about the 2-yard line.
That is a heck of a punt from Andrioli.
They put that at the 2, maybe the 3. It's a 50-plus yard high school punt.
Yeah, and that wasn't one of those ones where, it's a low kick and it rolls a good bit. That was a legit hard punt Andrioli just kicked. That was impressive.
And they will put the ball down at the 2-yard line. 52-yard Andrioli punt. And now Cornell's offense back on the field. Long field, 6-0 Cornell. 6:03 to play, opening quarter. Khalil Johnson to take the direct snap. Looking to run left. Now cuts it back to the near side. Flag. I thought I saw a flag come in, and Johnson finally goes to the boundary, but apparently no flag. Boy, something went flying from the sideline. Just where Johnson made the cut to the near side, but it was not a penalty flag, and Johnson gets a 1st down.
That right there, when you have a player as special as Khalil Johnson, that's why you block on the backside of every play. Right there, that run's designed to go left, gets his couple yards there. Then he notices that whole right side of the formation was sealed off, and he had a ton of room.
66 yards, 2 away from 1,000 for Khalil Johnson. Johnson hands it off. Now it's Dawson going around the left end. They run that little end-around play, and Dawson going to end up with a gain of about a yard.
Yeah, not much there for Dawson off of that handoff.
Actually, they spot him down at the line of scrimmage, so no gain. 2nd down and 10. Raiders at their own 21, 5.5 minutes to play. First quarter, Cornell 6, Chartiers-Houston nothing. Chartiers-Houston wins a playoff spot with a victory tonight. Cornell keeps control of their own playoff destiny. They have to play Monessen next week. 2nd down and 10. Johnson again, handoff going around that left side for 5, maybe 6 yards. The run by Latte Littlejohn.
That was a patient run from Littlejohn. Gets the initial space, takes it up, cuts through a hole, able to dive forward after first contact.
Littlejohn picks up 6, which makes this a 3rd down and 4. Score in the conference, Bishop Canevin 7, Monessen nothing. Third down, Khalil Johnson takes the direct snap, runs it himself, takes it left side, and Johnson running to the sideline. He's up over the 50, the 45, cuts back, trying to run out of a tackle, and is finally dragged down at the Chartiers-Houston 25-yard line. Khalil Johnson over 1,000 yards rushing now on the season with that carry.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a special start to the game for Johnson. He's ripped off double-digit yardage on each of his carries, all explosive runs, 4 carries, 4 explosive carries. I mean, that's just it's a good game if you as a running back get 4 explosives, which, you know, they'll count as, well, you know, plus 12, plus 15 yards, and he's already gotten 4.
48 yards on this run to the Bucs' 25-yard line. First and 10 Raiders. And now Stuckey back to take the snap. He'll hand off to Littlejohn, trying to run the left side. And Littlejohn will pick up a couple before being held up, and the ball ripped at, but unable to get it out of the hands of the running back. Gain of a yard for Littlejohn.
Cornell going to a rotation right now, and I like it. You don't want to put too much of a toll on the body of Johnson. Give him a chance to get those explosives. If he's pounding it up inside every single play, it makes it a lot more difficult, physically speaking.
Canevin now leading Monessen 14-0. Best center up on California 3-0. 2nd down and 9. Stuckey passes to the left sideline. Ball is caught. And good job to stay in bounds and take on defenders. Terrence Collington.
Yeah, just a quick little flick pass to Collington in the slot. He gets a blocker out front, and he's able to make the first man miss and just plunge through the next defender.
Ball to the Bucs 17-yard line. 7 yards on that completion. First catch of the night for Collington as he goes over 250 receiving yards for the year. Trip set to the near side. 3rd down, Stuckey on the design quarterback run, and just move the sticks as he gets inside the 15.
Yeah, just got enough, and you know, Cornell pushing a bunch of different buttons on offense early in this game, and it's been effective. Obviously, Johnson's had the big plays, and there's the long touchdown pass, but really mixing it up, making Chartiers-Houston think about many different things.
I have 6 first downs for Cornell, and we're just over 10 minutes into the game. Raiders break the huddle. A player came on, and either Cornell's going to have to use a timeout, or they're going to get flagged for 12 men in the play, and they use the timeout. 1:35 to play, first quarter. Cornell 6, Chartiers-Houston nothing. Raiders driving when we come back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Join the team at Schweinebraten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebraten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebraten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
Bucs have to find a way to get some stops here. This drive for Cornell started at their own 2-yard line, and in 3 first downs, 7 plays, they're at the Bucs 14 with a 1st and 10.
Yeah, they're moving it easy.
Khalil Johnson takes the snap, inside-out move, and he's got the corner. 10, 5, tripped up but into the end zone.
Looked like Chartiers-Houston had the angles to take that shot at Johnson, but he's just too fast right now for the Bucks defenders in the early going of this one. Just beats the man to the edge, and it's a foot race. He's going to win.
11th rushing touchdown of the year. 5 carries, $128 for Khalil Johnson in this opening quarter. Cornell caps off a 98-yard, 8-play drive with Johnson's 14-yard scamper. Lead is now 12-0, and the Raiders will line up to go for 2. 1:26 to play. First quarter. Had trouble on the snap on their PAT kick attempt. Stuckey pass for the end zone on the 2-point play is incomplete. Tried to get the ball to Davion Collier, and the pass fails. Cornell 12, Chartiers-Houston nothing. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Friday night lights bring our community together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opiate addiction. I'm Commissioner Larry Maggi, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential helpline today at 724-228-1234. That's 724-228-1234. Together we can fight addiction and build a stronger future for Washington County.
My Dream Field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My Dream Field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My Dream Field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
Another short kickoff fielded by the Bucks, this time in the air, and a little bit of a return. And the run back out across the 35-yard line to about the 38. Sarah Catholic leads Burgettstown 7-0. That's at the end of one quarter. Also here in the Black Hills Conference.
So with how the Cornell offense has looked so far against Chartiers-Houston's defense, this is a really important drive for the Bucks. They need to go down and score. There's been really little stoppage on that other end of the field.
Bucks 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. And trips to the near side. Single receiver to the Cornell sideline. And again, Cornell player steps into the zone, but the question was he moved? And now it's going to be offside. And what didn't happen the last time happens this time. The flag thrown.
I think that's the right call right there. The tackle moved out of his stance, but it was in response to the movement.
Oh, now 1st and 5. Bucks at their own 44-yard line. Same alignment. Never huddled, so maybe the same play. Walsh gets the snap, quarterback draw, takes it right up over the 45 to the 47. A run good for about 3.
He runs that draw. He gets met right up in the middle by Latte Littlejohn. A nice tackle and getting over there, as well as Caden Bauer.
And one of the things you can't get frustrated is that you keep calling that play. You know that play's worked. It's been a bread and butter of this Chartiers-Houston offense all year long. And, just because it keeps getting stopped for 2-3 yards, you got to keep calling it because sometime it's not going to get stopped.
Yeah, Walsh is a very good athlete. He's going to be able to break that run if you keep calling that play.
2nd down and 3 at the 47. Man comes in motion. Walsh fakes the handoff and now runs with it across the 50, 45, 40, down the far sideline. Walsh still going. Angle is going to take him to the boundary, but inside the Cornell 20-yard line.
Little option sweep right there. Walsh keeps it himself. Actually, I think that's probably just a design keeper on the fake. And he got enough room, and I talked to, just said it. He's a good athlete. He uses those legs to make big plays.
Looks like they're going to put the ball down at the 18-yard line, so 35 yards for Aaron Walsh. 1st and 10 for the Bucks. And again, they run that same motion, and this time hand it off, but penetration and play strung out. Going to be dropped down at about the 16-yard line on the hustling tackle. Terrence Collington bringing down Dom Coomer. And that will be the final play of the opening quarter. So a couple of yards for Coomer, but that play right on the handoff looked like it might get even more than that. We've played 1, Cornell 12, Chartiers-Houston nothing. Back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
At Slovenian Savings and Loan, they understand you want convenience. That's why their mobile banking app allows you to bank from anywhere, anytime. They also know there's no substitute for personal, one-on-one service from someone who cares about you and your family. Founded on honesty, integrity, and trust in 1925, and that will never change. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. SlovenianSavingsandLoan.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The October meeting of the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame is coming up Thursday. For just $10 a year, you'll have the chance to help share the stories of our region's rich athletic tradition. All members will have the opportunity to nominate athletes, coaches, officials, and contributors for consideration for induction at next summer's banquet. Our next meeting is Thursday at 7 p.m. at Pony Baseball Headquarters, next to EQT Park, the deadline for nominations. Join us and be part of something exceptional. The Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame.
Chartiers-Houston with 51 yards total offense, all of that rushing, and 42 of the 51 yards on the legs of Aaron Walsh, and 35 of that 42 on that one play for Cornell. 140 rushing, of that 128 for Khalil Johnson, who went over the 1,000-yard mark for the season in that opening quarter. 23 more passing yards, 163 total for Cornell. Chartiers-Houston, 2nd down and 8 at the Raiders' 16-yard line. Andrioli set with Walsh, 2 blocking backs up behind the right tackle and guard. Walsh will put it up, pass into the end zone, touchdown. Brody McCreary, that post pattern wide open.
That's a really good concept right there. Just the play action. You get the guy on the post. If that defender hesitates at all, it leaves him at a real disadvantage in terms of leverage. And it's a nice throw from Walsh to hit his man in stride.
9th touchdown pass of the year for Aaron Walsh. For McCreary, it's his 5th touchdown reception. And now a PAT attempt. Tommy Zura puts the foot to it, and the kick goes right down Maple Avenue. Kick is good. Chartiers-Houston with an answer. Bucks go 61 yards in 4 plays. Walsh to McCreary for the touchdown. 11:55 to go opening half. We're back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
In sports and in life, accidents happen, and sometimes people get hurt. The doctors at Advanced Orthopedics and Rehabilitation specialize in orthopedic surgery, joint replacement, foot and ankle reconstruction, hand and upper extremity surgery, sports medicine and rehabilitation, and game time medical services. With main offices near Wild Things Park and offices in Waynesburg, Charleroi, McMurray, and on Vanadium Road near St. Clair Hospital, you can count on Advanced Orthopedics and Rehabilitation.
61 yards, 4 plays, and a 16-yard touchdown pass from Aaron Walsh to Brody McCreary. Now the Bucks will kick off. They kick the ball toward the sideline to start the ball game, and the Raiders playing some games, moving Khalil Johnson around to try to get him the ball. Let's see what they do this time. It's a kick down the hash, picked up by Johnson, made a beautiful inside-out move. Bad lane discipline for the Bucks, and a return across midfield for Khalil Johnson.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know if it's that they can't or that they don't want to. If you see Johnson lined up, wherever you see Johnson lined up, you just got to kick it the other way. It's as simple as that.
Return for Johnson to the Bucks 40-yard line, and the 3 outside lane guys all crashed in between the numbers and the hash mark, and Johnson just had no trouble whatsoever to get the ball to the 40-yard line. No short field. Raiders have scored on each of their first 2 possessions, but failed in kicking and throwing conversion attempts. 12-7, Raiders with the lead. Khalil Johnson, draw play, fumbles the football, scramble for the loose pigskin. The Bucs say they have it. The officials have not indicated. Now they say second down, so Johnson got back on the ball.
It did look like initially Johnson got back on it. That's dangerous. I think if the tackler knew that Johnson had let it go, he would have tried his best to hang on to him and not allow Johnson to be a part of falling on that fumble.
So no gain on the play, second down and 10. Collington, only wide receiver, goes to the top of the set, 2 blocking back set outside the in the right slot. Stuckey stands in a clean pocket and throws downfield. Man behind the coverage trying to stop and get back to the ball, and it falls to the ground incomplete. Collington, the only man in the pattern.
Yeah, and Collington had his guy beat. Stuckey had blitz coming at him, but he didn't feel it. That was max protect right there. Just underthrew his guy a little bit. That's a tough throw to make.
Stuckey now 2 of 4 passing for 23 yards and the first touchdown of the night. And that was to Dawson. Third down and 10. Well, middle screen ball is caught, running out of a shoot tackle, going to get a first down inside the Bucs 40-yard line. And a Little John with the grab. Boy, the Bucs just have not tackled well at times.
Yeah, and I do like Cornell timing that one up. They saw the blitz on that last pass attempt. They're probably expecting it again, so you get the screen out in front. And as you mentioned, the tackling has not been great thus far for Chartiers-Houston.
The ball to the Bucs 27-yard line. That's a 13-yard pass play and a first down. And now obviously in 4-down territory. Now the back judge sees the play clock at 0, and the question is timeout or delay a game. And referee Anthony Rodolini has not indicated yet, and it looks like we are going to get the timeout, not the penalty. So Cornell stops the clock, 10:05 to play second quarter. Raiders 12, Bucs 7, back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Number of score updates for you. Jefferson Morgan 14, Avella nothing. It's Ringgold 6, Bell Vernon nothing. Monessen on the board. It's now Bishop Canevin 14-7 up on Monessen. Raiders to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10. Stuckey resets, throws trailing man across the 15, 10, 5, and into the end zone for the touchdown. Isaiah Dawson's second TD catch of the night.
That's really good composure from Stuckey. Gets heated up again. That time Chartiers-Houston bringing 5, gets a little pressure from the edge. On the run, he's able to hit Dawson. Moving against the grain, too. Going left as a right-handed quarterback. Still makes an accurate throw, and Dawson takes it the rest of the way.
Dawson's 6th touchdown grab of the year. Cornell has scored on all 3 possessions. This one goes 40 yards after the kickoff return by Khalil Johnson. And now the kick unit comes out. Drake Barr to kick this one. Kind of chips it, and it goes wide right. Cornell 18, Chartiers-Houston 7, 9:56 to go first half. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Since 1978, Quality Quick Printing has been a single source for all your business, organization, and corporate printing needs. A full-service digital document solution center, high-speed digital copying, large format, design and finishing, direct mail services, and so much more. Call their print solutions specialist to help with your next project, 724-225-9427, or visit qualquick.com.
You deserve a bank that brings fresh ideas to your business. One that can see you're a cut above and knows you like you know your customers. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on preparing personalized solutions, ones that cater to the unique needs of your business. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
9:56 to go in our second quarter. Cornell 18, Chartiers-Houston 7. The Raiders with 2 touchdown passes from M.J. Stuckey to Isaiah Dawson, plus the 14-yard Khalil Johnson TD run. Kenny Wade will kick off for Cornell. Waynesburg leading Charleroi 14-0. Raiders trying to play their way into wild card conversation in 2A. Carmichael's leading West Green 14-7. That's in the Tri-County South. Neither of those two will make the postseason. Thomas Jefferson now up 14-7 on Chartiers Valley. Short bounding kick, and the Bucks will cover it at their own 44-yard line.
Cornell on offense averaging over 13 yards per play right now. I mean, that's just a monster number. We did see Chartiers-Houston gain some composure on their last offensive possession. They get the legs going with Aaron Walsh. Have to think they have to try to go that route again.
Yeah, 14 minutes into the game, and Cornell has 200 yards total offense. Bucks first and 10 at their own 44-yard line, down 18-7. Walsh fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, spins to midfield and forward to about the 46-yard line of Cornell. Pickup of about 9 on the run. Now they're going to spawn him back maybe a yard. Let's see which line judge they're going to use. Okay, make it 9. One was at the 47, the other at the 46.
Last time we had a Chartiers-Houston game, you and I, Bob, it was the Burgettstown matchup. And, you know, early in the game, Walsh had a lot of success on the ground, and late in the game he had the success, and that was what led Chartiers-Houston to that win.
2nd and 1, and Walsh overthrows an open receiver. Just a ball that maybe threw too soon. Julius Livingston was open and getting more open, and ball was just overthrown.
I'll tell you what, though, he had defensive lineman right in his lap, Walsh did, as he was getting ready to release that one. I think his timer just got kind of sped up a little bit more.
Third down and a yard to go at the Cornell 46, and a running play jammed up at a 45-yard line, but it is going to be a first down. Andrioli got just enough to move the sticks.
Yeah, they got some push up in the middle, but there was one defender who was able to shed his block. Like on that left side, it might have been Nick Bennett for Cornell.
Andrioli needed one, got just one. Ball right, the nose of the ball right at the Cornell 45. South Payette 9, Bethel Park nothing, Bentworth 21, Mapletown nothing, Wash High 33, Carlinton nothing. Bucks down 18-7. Andrioli going around the left end, flag down in the backfield, going to be a hold against the Bucks. Andrioli's run is going to be good for 5 yards, but it's going to come back.
Yeah, that one, you can see it pretty easily on this near side. It's the guard or center, Jake Lyle, brings down defensive player with him as he was falling to the ground, just grabbed the jersey.
First penalty on Chartiers-Houston. 10-yard mark off will take the ball back to where this possession started. back at their own 45-yard line. Big 3A showdown. Elizabeth Forward leading Southmoreland 7-0. 8 minutes to play, second quarter. Cornell, the host, leading 18-7. Cornell does not clinch a playoff spot with a win. Snap is on the ground, and Walsh just looks at it, and Cornell dives on the loose football. If you're Aaron Walsh, you got to get on the ball, even if it's just dive and cover it. He was not expecting it, and then he saw a player from Cornell coming and didn't get after the ball. The Bucks turn it over.
Yeah, and that little hesitation allowed for the big man, Kenny Wade, just slide right in there and snag that ball up. That's a big turn in this game.
So the ball recovered at the Chartiers-Houston. Well, where are they going to put the chains? The chains, I'll tell you what, the last two series, I don't think the chains got set originally where the line of scrimmage was, but I don't know that they put the ball down yet. Now we see it. Okay, it's at the 38. Cornell up by a couple of scores, and now the takeaway. Johnson starts up in the hole and cuts to his left. Flag down from the referee. Johnson looking to deliver a hit. And he's down inside the 30-yard line, but the holding penalty coming up here against Cornell will wipe that run out. And they Walsh delivering the hit. Penalty will bring the ball clear out to the 49-yard line. Well, it should be the 48. Even if the holding penalty was behind the line of scrimmage, it should be the 48, but it is an 11-yard holding penalty.
We see it all with these penalties every week.
1st and 21. Johnson slides to his right, now throws the ball downfield. Ball is underthrown, tipped around, and it falls incomplete. Good job there by the intended receiver, MJ Stuckey, to break that play up. I told you, Johnson has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. That time almost threw an interception.
Yeah, that's instead of Stuckey to Johnson, it's Johnson to Stuckey, and that's good instincts from the quarterback, the usual quarterback, to break that up.
So 2nd and 21 at the 49. I know your screen says 20 because that's what the display here says, but they have to get to the 28-yard line. Running play coming to the left side, forward for about 5, and the Bucks finally get extra hands and bodies there to stop the run. A gain of about 4 yards it's going to be. And Latae Littlejohn, tough run there.
Yeah, that was a poor spot in my opinion. He got clear out to the 44.
So 4 yards for Littlejohn to the 45. So it's now 3rd down and 17. Third down and 17 at the Bucks 45. Cornell leading 18-7, 6.5 minutes to play. We apologize for people walking through the camera view. Stuckey, pump fake, now pulls it down, rolls to his right, throws into the middle of the field, and a pass is dropped at the Bucks 30-yard line. That would have been a first down.
Yeah, and Dawson had some room. I think all he would have had to do is probably make one move, and he would have had a shot to take that all the way, but he at least should have caught that for the first down. Just poor hands. You have to keep those hands tight together. They were wide and open, and not how they teach it. If he was on a jugs machine right there, it's hitting him in the face.
I have Stuckey 4 of 7 passing, and 2 of the 3 incompletions were dropped. 4th down and 17. Cornell in punt formation and able to get the kick away. It is short and will bound inside the 20, and the Raiders will let it bounce. But Chartiers-Houston's defense gets its first stop of the night and will take over down 18-7 with 6:02 to play in the first half. A couple of other scores for you. Update now. Waynesburg now 21-0 up on Charleroi. It is Bishop Canevin 21-7 ahead of Monessen, and Trinity looking to clinch their first conference championship since 1986, leading at Laurel Highlands 13-0. The punt down at the 19-yard line, where Chartiers-Houston, after fumbling it away out at the 38, gets the ball back. Walsh claps for the snap, sets and throws the ball deep. Some contact, ball overthrown and intercepted. Isaiah Dawson with the pick.
Yeah, and right there, Walsh tried to hit the defender with a double move, and Dawson wasn't fooled. He had his eyes on the receiver the whole time, and that's just like fielding a punt going backwards right there. Good coverage from Dawson.
6th interception thrown by Walsh this year, and Cornell will take over at its own 42-yard line. The Bucs defense right back out on the field 9 seconds after getting the stop and forcing a punt. Trinity ups the lead now to 20-0 on Laurel Highlands. Trinity Hillers would love to go to the beach next week and not have to win the conference title, but certainly they are going to want to win at Bell Vernon. 1st and 10 from the 42. Stuckey has all day long. Roll out to the right, dump the ball off, and that one's off the hands and then the face mask of the intended receiver, Khalil Johnson. He just doesn't make the catch.
Yeah, Stuckey now, really whenever he hasn't been blitzed, he's had a really nice amount of time in the pocket. And he's done a good job with it. Makes a good throw right there. Johnson just can't hang on.
That ball right in his face. It goes through the hands and off the helmet. 18-7, Cornell with the lead. Chartiers-Houston turning it over on its last 2 possessions. Twins near side, running play. Littlejohn weaving his way through traffic forward for 4 yards to the 46.
It's a little inside handoff. A decent amount of room for Littlejohn, but good job rallying from Chartiers-Houston.
Norwin 7, Canna McMillan nothing. Game the Big Macs would sorely like to win. So if they get some help from Mount Lebanon, still an opportunity for the Macs to take one of the last 2 playoff spots. Canamac and Norwin are tied for those last 2 spots at the moment. 3rd down and 6 for Cornell. Raiders at their own 46-yard line. 4:55 to play. Khalil Johnson tripped over his own man and goes down at the 50. Gets 4 yards on the run, but Khalil Johnson's probably about now crossing and going into the end zone.
Yeah,
there was
a huge hole, and right as he made that cut, looked like his foot just got caught inside of one of his blockers.
Oh,
gave him an extra yard there from what they initially showed.
Oh my, yes indeed. Yeah, that they're going to move. They got to put the ball back. There we go. Yeah, that's the right spot. The 50-yard line's the right place. Should be 4th down and 2. Chartiers-Houston running a player off, shaken up. Now good to go. 4th down and 2 for the Raiders. Johnson on the keeper, and Johnson gets inside the 48, moves the sticks.
Yep, no fooling around right there. The direct snap just plunges behind his lead blocker, Littlejohn, carving just enough of a hole for Johnson to dive through.
Elizabeth forward leading Southmoreland 14-0. When they put this ball clear to the 46-yard line. So it's a 4-yard run for Johnson. Just under 4 minutes to play, first half. 18-7 Cornell. Bucs still within reach, but can ill afford to give up more points here. Stuckey on the designed run, fights his way forward for almost 6.
And Stuckey, once again, takes advantage of some not great tackling. It looked like he would probably have a short gain of about 2 or 3, but just diving at the legs, and Stuckey's able to just march through.
2nd down and 4. Stuckey hands the ball off, and a crease opens up on the right side, and then the Bucks close it quickly. And trying to run out of a tackle is Terrence Collington, and he can't run out of it.
I don't know why they're marking that back. He never ran out of the tackle, though.
Yeah, he had forward progress.
Yeah.
It was certainly inside the 40-yard line, but going to be spotted out at the 41, a loss of a yard. If he gets out of that and runs and then gets stopped, then that's a different story, but he did not. Johnson again cuts up inside and then takes it to the sideline. 35, 30, delivering a blow inside the 25 and out of bounds inside the 20. Looking for people to run over.
Yeah, I mean, that's big boy ball right there. I mean, he makes that cut back in, and he's just looking for contact.
It's 11th first down of the first half. Cornell 1st and 10 at the Chartiers-Houston 17. 2 minutes to play in our first half. End of 1 quarter. Peters Township 20, Baldwin nothing. Johnson takes it over the right tackle, works his way to the 15, and then finally down. A ball squirted loose, but that appeared to be after the whistle. Raiders trying to add a late score here. Looks like the line of scrimmage is going to end up being the 13-yard line. And
player down.
And it's Khalil Johnson, I believe. And they actually spot Johnson clear to the 12, so he'll get 5 yards, but has not gotten up yet from this run. Can we see the run again there, Jason? Yeah. Johnson strung out along that 15, kept the legs churning and tackled at the 12 and lost the ball and is just laying there. I mean, I think he let go of the ball, not just had it knocked out, but. And Johnson got up, made his way to the sideline under his own power, but now they spot the ball back.
This has been quite the interesting drive as far as moving spots.
So 2nd down. Stuckey flushed out, rolls, throws right pass, is caught, and it's going to be a catch. Isaiah Dawson inside the 5-yard line.
We'll get a nice angle of this on the replay. Stuckey once again just with tons of time, and Dawson coming back to the ball, able to get that first foot in.
And the ball is at the 3-yard line. So 10 yards and a first down. 1:02, the clock stopped with the out of bounds run after the catch. And now the Raiders huddled and went to the line with well, I think they had too many. Let me see if I can get a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They did. They huddled and went to the line with 12. That's a violation, but not called. They used a timeout and avoid the penalty there. Cornell uses its final timeout, comes with 1:02 to play, 2nd quarter. Raiders scored on each of their first 3 possessions. Chartiers-Houston got on the board on its 2nd possession. But then the Bucks have turned it over twice, forced a Cornell punt in between. But Cornell has driven, at this point, 55 yards to the Chartiers-Houston 3-yard line.
Line up in sort of tush-push type of formation.
Handed off to the tailback, Littlejohn, patient run, and steps through the hole untouched. Little John's third rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah, he got that handoff, and he just waited for the hole to form, as trusted his blockers out in front to keep integrity, and they did.
So with 55 seconds to play, second quarter, Cornell has pushed the margin now to 24-7. Cannon McMillan has taken the lead at Norwin, 14-7 Big Macs. Raiders will line up to go for two. Johnson, boy, and he is just so fast. Starts up in and immediately turns to the left and beats the defense to the pylon, and the run for two. Cornell 26, Chartiers-Houston 7. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Join the team at Schweinebrotten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebrotten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebrotten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
Couple of other scores for you. End of one quarter, Fort Cherry 21, Shenango nothing. Non-conference action in the second. Wash High 47, Carleton nothing. Washington will go to Dormont next Friday night to take on Seton LaSalle, with the opportunity to win the conference championship and likely a 2A first-round bye on the line in that game if Seton LaSalle beats Keystone Oaks tonight. Raiders go 58 yards, 10 plays. Latae Littlejohn with the 3-yard touchdown run. And the Khalil Johnson run for the 2-point conversion. 55 seconds to play first half. It's 26-7. And the Bucks in need of something. They have not been able to stop. Now a kickoff deep back inside the 15. Right up the hash marks, the return up over the 30 to about the 37-yard line. Good hard sprint by Levy for Chartiers-Houston.
Yeah, and I think right here, if you're Dan Liss, you have to take a chance and let your offense try to make a play here, make a few plays, and try to get on the board. You know, if you can somehow get down there and even just kick a field goal, it makes it a 2-score game.
So the return out to the 36. The Bucks will start there 1st and 10, but have just 48 seconds with which to work. Two backs, both stay home to protect. Walsh serves it up into traffic, and this pass is almost intercepted, then almost caught on the carom. Livingston had to bounce over his head on the carom.
Yeah, that should have been picked. That was Jaquil Turner. He had it tracked, and I think he just at the last second overran it, hit him in the helmet.
The incomplete pass.
Walsh has to be careful. I mean, that was nearly a third consecutive play where he turned the ball over. Have to protect the football.
Walsh 1 for 6 in the first half. The only completion, the 16-yard touchdown pass. 2nd down and 10. Again, two backs. They stay home. Late blitz picked up. Pass too tall. Incomplete onto the Chartiers-Houston bench. The pass intended for Dadrian Walls.
Now, with it being 3rd down, Cornell out of timeouts, you just put this on the, or keep it on the ground and just run it and try to take this into halftime. I think you probably do.
Yeah, if you're Chartiers-Houston, I don't think you can afford to throw it here, you know, and if it's incomplete, you know, you're going to have to kick the ball or run a 4th down play, and you risk giving the ball. But pass play, dump it off on the screen. Over the 40, 45, and going to be stopped short of the 1st down marker. The catch by Andrioli, but the Bucks can let the half run out with that if they so choose.
If I were Dan Liss here, I'd probably take it down to a couple seconds and then maybe try to run one more play to end the half.
And the Bucks in no hurry, and the half will run out with that completion. Cornell with a dominant first half. Touchdowns on 4 of 5 first half possessions. Cornell 26, Chartiers-Houston 7. Going to the locker room. Get you a scoring recap when we come back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Friday night lights bring our community together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm Commissioner Electra Janis, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential helpline today at 724-228-1234. That's 724-228-1234. Together, we can fight addiction and build a stronger future for Washington County.
First half total offense, just a domination by Cornell. 265 total yards, 192 rush, 73 pass. And Khalil Johnson, 10 carries for 164. Couple of touchdown passes for MJ Stuckey, a TD run as well for Latae Littlejohn. We'll recap all of that for you in a moment. Bucks, meanwhile, 54 yards rushing at the half and only 3 yards rushing in the second quarter. Total of 79 yards as Walsh has completed 2 of 8 passes for 25 yards. Teams heading to the locker room here at the break. Let's go back and get you a scoring recap. And the first 3 times Cornell had the football, they found their way to the end zone. Start with receiving the opening kick. Quickly goes 65 yards in 5 plays. Isaiah Dawson on the receiving end of the first of 2 touchdown passes from MJ Stuckey. This one from 16 yards. The conversion attempt, though, a bad snap on the kick attempt. The kick was never attempted, and it was 6-0 Cornell just 2 minutes and 2 seconds into the ball game. Bucks get the ball to midfield, but end up punting it away and get a dandy punt from Dom Andrioli downed at the Cornell 2-yard line. But a couple of third down conversions, a long run by Khalil Johnson, a 48-yard scamper on 3rd down and 4 from his own 27-yard line. And all of a sudden the ball's at the Bucks 25. A couple of plays later, Johnson scores from 14 yards out. Pass play for 2 was no good. Cornell led Chartiers-Houston 12-0. 1:26 to go in the first. Bucks' only score of the first half came on the next possession. Started at their own 39-yard line. Hit a 35-yard run by Aaron Walsh to the 18. And then on 2nd down and 8 from the 16, Walsh found Brody McCreary on the post and was open. 16-yard touchdown pass. Tommy DeZura's extra point brought the Bucks to within 5 at 12-7. 11:55 to go first half. But Cornell would score 2 more times, and the Bucks would turn it over twice in the next 5 possessions of the game. Cornell short kick by the Bucks, and Johnson took advantage of some bad lane discipline by Chartiers-Houston and returned the ball to the Bucks 40-yard line. 4 plays later, it's Stuckey to Dawson again, 27-yard touchdown pass. They try to kick the extra point, and Drake Barr's kick was wide to the right. Cornell 18, Chartiers-Houston 7, just about 2 minutes after the Bucks had gotten on the board. Chartiers-Houston's ensuing possession get a first down at the Cornell 45, a holding penalty, and then a snap that Aaron Walsh wasn't looking for, and he did not cover the loose football. Cornell did, but the Bucks defense holds. Then on first down, a long pass play overthrown and intercepted by Isaiah Dawson. Gave the Raiders the ball back at their own 42-yard line. Convert a 4th down at midfield, a 3rd down on a 24-yard Johnson run to the 17, and a couple of plays later, Latae Littlejohn scores from 3 yards out to increase the lead. The Raiders ran for the 2-point conversion. Johnson sprinting it into the pylon for the deuce. And Cornell 26, Chartiers-Houston 7 at the end of the first half. And again, just a dominant Cornell performance.
Yeah, right now I have it Cornell averaging roughly 9 yards per play, Chartiers-Houston at 4. I mean, that's a huge discrepancy on a per-play basis, not to mention the turnovers for Chartiers-Houston. Buck's able to score a touchdown there, get back into the game, it seemed, but followed up immediately by the next couple drives ending in turnovers. That can't happen.
Cornell 12 first downs in the first half. Chartiers-Houston with 4 and 2 turnovers. And so Bucks are going to get the ball, and if they're going to take control of this playoff spot by winning tonight, they will need to score on almost every possession and stop Cornell on almost every possession in the second half. Going to take a timeout, and right after the break, then we're going to get the President's Athletic Conference PAC football report, and after that, it will be a little feature on the retirement coming up at the end of the year of PIAA Executive Director Dr. Bob Lombardi. At the half, Cornell 26, Chartiers-Houston 7, here on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
My dream field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My dream field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My dream field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
Welcome to the PAC Football Report for October 18th, 2025. I'm Joe Underco. This week we will take a quick look back at last Saturday's gridiron action in the President's Athletic Conference, while also previewing Week 7 games this weekend. Washington and Jefferson is the lone unbeaten team remaining in PAC play and controls its own destiny after Week 6, following the President's 24-7 homecoming win over Westminster. In other action, Case Western Reserve and Grove City also posted homecoming wins, with the Spartans rolling past Allegheny 62-21 and the Wolverines edging Waynesburg 24-14. Finally, Geneva and St. Vincent each won road shootouts, with the Golden Tornadoes outgunning Teal 51-38 and the Bearcats outlasting Bethany 57-35. Hiram had the weekend off. Offensive PAC Player of the Week recognition in Week 6 went to Geneva junior quarterback Caleb Romano, who threw for 402 yards and 3 touchdowns while adding 2 rushing scores at Teal. Defensive honors went to Grove City junior cornerback Dominic Domino, with a pair of interceptions, including a 48-yard TD return versus Waynesburg. Special teams laurels went to St. Vincent senior kicker Justin Emig, who made all 9 of his kicks at Bethany, including a pair of field goals. Newcomer of the week was Teal freshman quarterback Keller Herzberger, who posted a school record 447 passing yards and 5 TDs while adding a rushing score versus Geneva. Week 7 again features 5 league contests, while Case Western Reserve has the bye. A matchup of Presbyterian rivals has 3-3 Geneva traveling to face 2-4 Waynesburg at Wiley Stadium at 1 p.m. The teams are meeting for the 86th time since 1908, with the Jackets holding a 44-37-4 all-time advantage, although the GTs won at home 33-6 a year ago. Waynesburg head coach Cornelius Coleman discusses the challenges posed by the Geneva passing attack.
They're not just doing it with a core group of new guys. They're doing it with their same players. That quarterback that they have over there is one of the best quarterbacks in the country right now.
3-2 Grove City looks for its 3rd straight win as the Wolverines travel to Meadville to battle 2-4 Allegheny at Frank Fuhrer Field at 4 p.m. The historic series dates back to 1899, with the Wolverines leading the Gators 37-29-7, including the last 3 meetings since Allegheny rejoined the PAC. The last Allegheny win in the series was a 27-7 final back in 1987. Gator head coach Braden Lair talks about what a home win over the Wolverines would mean for his program.
It's a barrier of competing against those caliber teams that I would like to think we're in a position that we can do that. And it didn't happen for us in the first opportunity against Case. That doesn't mean it can't, this Saturday. Ultimately, I think we have to play our game better.
0-5 Bethany continues its search for its first win as the Bison host 2-3 Hiram at Bison Stadium at 1 p.m. The teams renew a series which began in 1899 with the Terriers maintaining a narrow 21-19-1 all-time advantage, although the Bison won the last meeting between the programs 26-16 back in 2022. Midway through Hiram's first gridiron season since returning to the PAC, first-year Terrier head coach Xavier Landry gives his initial impressions of the conference.
Every week you got to show up and be prepared to play, and that's what I like. That's what I like about the conference. Games never over until the clock hits 000. Those games, I like being a part of those types of games.
In other Week 7 conference contests, 3-2 Washington and Jefferson looks to hold on to sole possession of first place in the PAC when the Presidents travel to Latrobe to face 2-4 St. Vincent at Chuck Knoll Field at 1 p.m. W&J has won 15 of 16 meetings between the programs since the rebirth of Bearcat football in 2007, with the lone St. Vincent win in that span being a 35-27 final back in 2011. Finally, 0-5 Teal makes the short trip to New Wilmington to face 3-2 Westminster at Harold Burry Stadium at 1 p.m. The Titans lead the series, which dates back to 1894, 50-22-6 all-time, and have won the last 8 meetings, with the last Tomcat win being a 45-37 4-overtime thriller in 2013. That's all for this edition of the PAC Football Report. Log on to the conference website at www.pacathletics.org all season long for the latest news, scores, statistics, and other league info. You can also follow us on social media via X, Facebook, and Instagram. Links are available at the PAC website. I'm Joe Underco. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the stadium.
Slovenian Savings and Loan is here for your life, your future, and your dreams. While life's pace seems to get faster and faster, Slovenian Savings and Loan still stands by its traditional values of honesty, integrity, and building personal relationships. Enjoy all modern conveniences to make banking easy, combined with a down-to-earth, face-to-face way of doing business. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
We're at halftime of your game here on the WJPA Sports Network. I'm Bob Gregg. Wednesday afternoon, the PIAA announced that Executive Director Bob Lombardi would be retiring at the end of December after more than 40 years in sports administration, the past 13 as the boss at PIAA headquarters. During his tenure, the PIAA has grown to be the 4th largest state in the nation in terms of student-athlete participation, and the association added 3 sports, competitive spirit, flag football, and wrestling, increasing the number of opportunities for girls. During a virtual gathering with media, Lombardi was asked, why now?
Well, this is an easy question, and don't laugh at me when I tell you. In 5 weeks, I will be 70 years old. There's the answer. At 70 years old, this is a young man's and a young woman's business. We have a tremendously capable staff. They don't need no fart like me hanging around and getting in the way. No one's successful in this business by yourself. It takes a whole lot of people to get stuff done. And I've been very, very fortunate to work with tremendous folks. We got the best staff in the country. Handing this over to Mark will be a labor of love, man. He's tremendous. There's not a better athletic administrator in the country. And there's nobody that could come in here and do this job like he can after learning the business for 25 years.
Mark Byers, currently the PIAA's Chief Operating Officer, will take over on January 1st. Byers joined PIAA a decade after Lombardi started as an intern in 1988. Lombardi was asked if he had any regrets.
A regret, maybe not spending more time with my family through the years. I've probably taken advantage of their love and support by working a little bit too much. I catch heck from my administrative assistant that I don't take my vacation days. So that would probably be one.
Dr. Lombardi has overseen the expansion of headquarters staff from 9 to 15 full-time employees and the addition of Unified Special Olympics Championships in bocce and track and field, as well as adding 9 events at the track championships. And Lombardi shepherded high school athletics through the COVID pandemic, getting high school athletes back on the field. But it's a change in society that Lombardi has said most personally impacted him at the office.
Years ago, when Brad and Tom Warner and I were here as a 3-man band a little bit, we only had 9 people in our office staff. Dr. Warner got to work a lot of sports. That's transitioned pretty well for me. I'm not involved with the organization and administration of championships like I used to be. And that's because we have an attorney that keeps us really, really busy. And it's not her doing, it's our member. Society's changed. Nobody will take no for an answer.
Lombardi was asked, what's wrong with sports today that has to be fixed?
I think there's maybe 3 things. 1, the lack of good sportsmanship and the lessons learned from athletics are very disappointing because the language and of a foul nature and the behavior that we're seeing in contests and on sidelines and in stands is reprehensible. Yeah. The second thing is the lack of adherence to rules. Rules are made for a reason, and to follow them, it's important. And they're the lessons learned in athletics because they also translate into life behavior and being a good citizen. And I think the last thing that I think many people have forgot about when they're playing athletics is it's supposed to be fun. Why did you get involved? Because I liked it. You ever see that little kid that's a year and a half or 2 years old, just learned to run and starts running down through your yard or whatever, and the big smile on their face? That's what we all started with years ago when we were playing. And I don't know if that's there. Because kids start playing, and if they show an aptitude that they're not too bad, every mom and dad thinks they're going to Pitt, they're going to Penn State, they're going to Alabama, they're going to USC or whatever. And the scholarships aren't there. They're not there. They ought to take all the money they invest in taking the kid all over the country and put it in a bank account, and they'd pay for the 4 years of college.
In the past 13 years under Lombardi's watch, transfer rules have been tightened. The competition formula was enacted and revised, and the number of classifications in 10 of the association's sports have been increased. Wednesday's media gathering ended the way most such scrums have over the years, with a nod, a handshake, and a thank you.
Thanks for being so kind to me. But I would like to say something very candid to all of you. Thanks a lot. You've been great. We haven't always agreed, and I don't think we should. But you've always been respectful of the position and of me and our association. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. And I hope you feel the same about us, because I've tried to be a good steward, and I've tried to represent our organization with professionalism to you folks, because you're important to all of us. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bob, for your leadership, your candor, and your friendship. Enjoy your well-earned retirement. We'll get you back to your game in just a moment here on the WJPA Sports Network.
This is Coach Guy Montecalvo for the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame. Thanks to the support of CNX, GBU, Printscape, the Pony League World Series, and the participants in our annual golf outing, we awarded nearly $14,000 in scholarships to local high school athletes, plus $3,000 to our Courage Award and Edward Monaco Above and Beyond Award winners. And we granted money to high school athletes starting their own nonprofit charities. We encourage you to join us at our next meeting and be a part of something exceptional. The Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame.
One of the pieces that we didn't share on that halftime feature that Lombardi talked about was in the business part. Ahead of that, a review of the most recent Board of Directors meeting, and that was a question about when new enrollment parameters will come out. And the answer to that was that schools have to have already submitted their top 3 grades, boys and girls enrollments. I'm sorry, grades 9 through 11, their boys and girls enrollment. That those numbers are being tabulated and assembled by headquarters staff, and that somewhere around the 7th of November, so just a couple of weeks out, the PIAA will set what we call cut lines. Up to X number is in this class, et cetera, et cetera. And so that we should expect those cut lines somewhere around the 7th of November. Following that, schools will have the opportunity to declare that they want to voluntarily upgrade, play up for in the local information. The wording we always use is play up. They have to declare that by December 1st, and then sometime almost certainly before the end of the year, we will see the full list of schools in each sport in each classification. Now, I've collected the enrollment numbers for 18 of the 19 Washington and Greene County schools, and there will be there could be a number of moves. There's probably of the sports that I tracked: football, boys and girls soccer, boys and girls basketball, boys wrestling, baseball, softball, and girls volleyball. There are probably 25 sports and school numbers that are within 10 up or down of the previous cut line numbers. So those are in that realm of really a possibility. In addition, I count 7 sports teams that will almost certainly move down because of enrollment numbers, and that would be McGuffey football, McGuffey basketball, both into 2A, Ringgold into 4A basketball, and Wash High, it appears, will be eligible for 1A football, 2A basketball, and 2A baseball, along with 2A softball on the girls' side. There are 3 that I have seen that will almost certainly move up. 2 of them in Greene County. Waynesburg's girls soccer and softball teams appear that they're almost certainly moving up, soccer to 2A and softball to 3A. And here's the big local one with the enrollment increase of 46 boys from the current cycle to next cycle. Trinity is almost certainly going to 5A football.
Yeah, I mean that's a big jump. 4A to 5A is, that might be the biggest jump as far as going between classifications. Maybe 5 to 6, but really, yeah, 4 to 5 it's a big jump. So.
All right, let's delve back into what happens here. Chartiers-Houston trails 26-7 here at the half. If Chartiers-Houston rallies and wins the game, they claim the third conference playoff spot. It is an automatic, one of the 3 automatics. They would clinch that. If not, Chartiers-Houston would drop to 5-4 overall, and Cornell goes to Monessen next week. If Cornell wins that game, Cornell would take the automatic bid. If Monessen would win that game, then we would have a 3-way tie, and that would go then to the plus minus, plus 10, minus 10 WPIL tiebreaker scoring system. Currently, Chartiers-Houston is +2, Cornell -4, Monessen -3. Monessen is losing at the moment to Bishop Canavan, and obviously Chartiers-Houston would lose and Cornell would win, so those 2 are 6 points apart right now. Those would get closer, but then Chartiers-Houston would be finished, and Cornell could not catch unless, depending on what a Cornell loss next week might be. Chartiers-Houston is in decent shape, but I think probably with a loss tonight, Chartiers-Houston is more likely to be in really pretty decent shape for a wild card. They play Northgate next week out of the Big 7. Northgate is 1-7. It's a game that the Bucks have to win to say, hey, we have 6 wins this year. That is certainly wild card eligible, and I think it is very possible that this conference gets 2 of the 4 1A wild cards.
Yeah, and I think that'd be a good get for this Black Hills Conference. It's a competitive conference, really. Obviously, Fort Cherry is and has been the top dog, but those next, 4 or 5 teams have, kind of this year at least, have been relatively of a similar caliber. So I think that, having that level of competition is big.
26-7, Cornell leads at the half. Chartiers-Houston will get the ball. We'll have it for you when we come back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
In sports and in life, accidents happen, and sometimes people get hurt. The doctors at Advanced Orthopedics and Rehabilitation specialize in orthopedic surgery, joint replacement, foot and ankle reconstruction, hand and upper extremity surgery, sports medicine and rehabilitation, and game time medical services. With main offices near Wild Things Park and offices in Waynesburg, Charleroi, McMurray, and on Vanadium Road near St. Clair Hospital, you can count on Advanced Orthopedics and Rehabilitation.
Let me quickly run through the scores that we have. This is last updates that we had. Cannon McMillan leading Norwin 14-7 at the half. A Big Mac win clinches a playoff spot. Peters was up on Baldwin 20-0 at the end of 1. South Fayette 9, Bethel Park nothing. Moon, Upper St. Clair scoreless at the half. Trinity 20, Laurel Highlands nothing. Thomas Jefferson 14, Chartiers Valley nothing. It was Bell Vernon 23, Ringgold 6. Waynesburg 21-0 up on Charleroi. Wash High 54, Carlinton nothing at the half. Sarah Catholic leading Burgettstown 7-0. Back, just a note about Wash High, will have their game against Seton LaSalle next week at Dormont Stadium for the conference title. Seton leading Keystone Oaks 35-0 at intermission. Jeff Morgan 33, Avella nothing. Bentworth 42, Mapletown nothing. Both of those are at the half. Carmichael's 22, West Green 14, also at the half. And Fort Cherry was leading Shenango in a non-conference 35-0 at intermission. Ball teed up by Kenny Wade. Bucks with 2 guys really deep, but the kick's not going to get that far. It's going to be picked up on the bounce. 30, 35, up over the 40, and out to about the 45-yard line. Both of these teams are really short. Now, the ball ended up in the hands of the Raiders, but play ruled dead at the 46-yard line.
Well, here you go. You get a good starting field position. I think Chartiers-Houston, the best course of action is going to be to utilize the legs of Aaron Walsh.
Walsh I have 44 yards rushing in the first half, but a fumble and an interception thrown. 1st and 10, Walsh pass to the near side is caught up over the midfield stripe, and out of bounds goes Andrioli.
I like that. There's a lot of cushion on that far side, not any risk on that throw. Just a short little pitch and catch to Andrioli. Get ahead of the chains.
6-yard pickup and a first down. Clock only a couple of seconds off with that out of bounds play. 5 wide receivers. 4-man defensive front for the Raiders, and the Raiders lean into the zone, but then movement on the O-line as well, and it's going to be movement on the O-line of the Chartiers-Houston bench all over the wing official.
I'll tell you what, I think the first movement came from the wideout near side, Adrian Walls for Chartiers-Houston.
Well, you get 6 on the first down, and now you give it up. And now here's the other thing. Referee wound the clock, which the clock should stay stopped because it was stopped heading into the penalty. So now 2nd down and 9. Empty backfield, all kind of pressure, and Walsh rolls away from it. Now we'll dump the ball off. Pass is caught in the midfield area. 45, 40, and down at the 35-yard line, a catch by Jake Luba.
That's a big play to get that completion of Luba. Cornell bringing the heat. You can't lose contain, though. If you lose contain when you're bringing that type of rush, there's inevitably going to be somebody wide open downfield, and he finds his man.
And good job there by Walsh. He might have run for almost that much. I mean, you don't know, but I mean, Luba's got nothing in front of him but green grass until he got inside the 40-yard line. First and 10 at the 35. 90 seconds into this third quarter. Walsh with 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. Looking left, now back into the middle of the field. Passes down around the knees, incomplete, and then a big pop thrown on the receiver after the ball was well on the ground. Incomplete pass. That time Luba just couldn't pull it in and then paid for not making the catch.
That's just a drop straight up. Yeah, it looked like that contact was late enough to the point where a flag would have been warranted.
Yeah, you could, because there wasn't one, the Bucks don't like it. If there had been one thrown, it was close enough that Cornell fans wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's tough to be an official these days, because somebody's going to let you know they disagree. Second down and 10 at the 35. Walsh with time, dumps the ball off. It's Andrioli, going to get 5, maybe 7. Pushes it inside the 30-yard line.
And if Cornell's going to play off like that, you take what they're giving you. You're in second and long, first and 10. We saw that same type of play. Take that yardage.
Ball at the 27, so 8 yards on the completion to Andrioli. 9:45 to play, third quarter. Chartiers-Houston trailing 26-7. Again, trips left, Twins right. Empty backfield for Walsh. Straight up rush. Walsh rolls away from it, now throws the sideline. Deep ball caught inside the 10, sliding out of bounds is Luba.
That's another good throw by Walsh on the run that time. Has to try to find his man while approaching the sideline. He was able to do so. And a nice diving grab by Luba.
Going to be down at the 7-yard line. A 20-yard pass on a rope. First and goal at the 7 for the Bucks, and now running backs. Well, let me go singular there, running back. Andrioli with Walsh. Walsh will keep trying to run left. Now cuts it up inside the 5, and he's going to get down at about the 3. Maybe the 2. The wing got him spotted at the 2. 5 yards on that run. $8:50 and counting here in this third quarter. Chartiers-Houston starting at their own 46-yard line, now at the 2. Long time in the huddle. Bucks break that, come to the line of scrimmage. Again, it's Walsh with Andrioli beside. Andrioli takes the hand off and drives forward, hit at the 1 and shoved back from there, does not get in.
Yeah, and that was a really good tackle, getting down inside, getting to the ground. Davion Collier chopping down the legs from under Andrioli.
Down 19 points. The Bucks do not want to let any wasted time happen here. Would have loved to have gotten Andrioli in there. Third and goal. It'll be Andrioli left side into the end zone for the touchdown. And again, there's some post-whistle discussions and players down. A Chartiers-Houston player is shaken up. It's
Cam Durkak.
He is down and actually going to get to his feet and make his way to the sideline, but some Chartiers-Houston fans calling for a flag. Andrioli into the end zone. His 1-yard touchdown run, his third TD of the season. Comes with 7:50 to play in this third quarter. Score now 26-13. Bucks can cut it to 12 with a PAT. Cornell player going off hobbling as well. That's big Kenny Wade.
Yeah, he's played a nice game too.
Extra point attempt, Tommy DeZura. Now a flag from the referee, unsportsmanlike conduct against Cornell. And the Bucks can either take it now or on the kickoff, and almost certainly going to take it on the kickoff. And boy, referee Anthony Rodolini started toward the Cornell bench, and he just put his hand out and said, "That's enough." He was very clear about what he didn't want to hear any more of. Snap a little high, extra point kick is up and good. Good job by Aaron Walsh to tee it up, and Tommy DeZora knocks it home, and then there is a flag at the spot of the kick as well. So already going to be 15 yards against Cornell on the kickoff. 26-14 the score, and this one's called a roughing. It's going to be roughing both ways, so those will offset after the kick. 26-14. Cornell leads. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
Good job by the Bucks to go right down the field and get in the end zone and kick the extra points, and now down 12. Still 19 minutes and change left in the ball game. Certainly enough time to get a couple of scores, but the thing that the Bucks have really struggled to do tonight, they're going to have to do now, and that is stop Cornell.
Yeah, I mentioned at halftime, Cornell averaging over 9 yards per offensive play. Just been really efficient. The big plays have all been there. If Chartiers-Houston wants to come back in this one, they need to get a stop, and they need to get it quick. That drive right there, 4 minutes, 10 seconds, I think it's a little longer than they would have liked. I think they wasted probably about a minute just down inside the 5, just not being quick and not getting that first Andreoli rush into the end zone.
So the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, remember, will be marked off against Cornell here on the kickoff. So the Bucks will kick from the Cornell 45-yard line. Always love the fact that we got to make a show. We got to put the ball down, then we have to indicate. We've already indicated it's unsportsmanlike conduct. And so then we put the ball on the ground, then we pick the ball back up, and then we're going to walk 15 yards and tee it up then.
One of those silly symbolic things.
Here's a question for you. The Bucks have kicked short or angled it many times. Do you onside kick here? And Cornell's lining up offside. They can't be where they are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's offside.
Should be a penalty.
Well, now the officials move the receiving team. They have to be 10 yards away when the ball's kicked. And the kick is short and bounding and taken by one of those up backs, and a return out across the 35-yard line. So the 15-yard penalty ends up being of no benefit to the Bucks.
Yeah, I think that's a risk that's worth it, trying to go onside there, but it wasn't. That was not one of the more competitive onside kicks you'll see. It was right at him and took a friendly hop for the up man.
Cornell will take over. They're going to put the ball down at the 36-yard line. And now the Bucks defense in need of a stop here. And then we go from there. Start trips to the near side. Now moving back toward the set is Collington. Now in motion. And Cornell's going to use a timeout trying to get to the line of scrimmage. No, going to get called for false start. So we have 4 penalties, 36 yards on the Cornell Raiders. 7:45 to play, third quarter, 26-14. Now they motion Khalil Johnson, now back around, and they were never all set. Johnson took the toss and trying to find somewhere to go, and 6 Chartiers-Houston players there with him. And the whistle blows. Johnson spins around and hands the ball feeds the ball really to the referee, Rotolini.
Yeah, I think he was a little frustrated. Nothing dirty there from Chartiers-Houston, but I think Johnson just got a little frustrated that there were so many bodies on him.
Loss of 2 on the Johnson run. That's the first negative play tonight turned in by the Bucs defense. Second down and 12, and the rugby scrum moves up over the 35 and eventually out to almost the 40-yard line.
Flag came in before that play was wrapped up, too. It was as the tackle was happening. I think this might be a face mask.
Face mask against Chartiers-Houston. So 7 yards on the run, and then 15-yard penalty is going to result in a first down. Take the ball to the Bucs' 49-yard line. And the Raiders get out of a hole.
Yeah, and that's just bailing Cornell out there. I think that also probably should have been legal procedure.
A running play coming up over this left side of the line and going to pick up about 7-8 yards for Khalil Johnson.
2 men were in motion right before the snap, and it did not look like Latte Littlejohn ever got set. And I think that's what Dan Liss is absolutely flipping his lid about.
Well, and that was the earlier play that Johnson came out, jogged out this way, and everybody went set, and he spun back around the other way and looped around. They were never all set. Gain of 7 for Johnson, 2nd and 3. Johnson takes the direct snap and gets to about the 40-yard line, going to be just shy of the first down. Clock down to 5:35 remaining in the third quarter.
Bucks doing a little bit better as far as gap integrity goes, and Johnson, it's the 3rd or 4th time where he's left the field after getting buggered up.
Yeah, that time he whipped the helmet off, made his way to the far sideline. 3rd down and a yard to go. Ball at the Chartiers-Houston 40-yard line. Stuckey takes the snap, made a man miss, and now runs to the right side, grabbed around the waist and taken down, but not before he gets a first down. There is a flag down in the middle of all that.
Came from behind the play. That's almost always holding.
Holding against Cornell. That'll take the ball back out to midfield. Couple of penalties on Cornell on this possession, one on Chartiers-Houston, and again the kickoff started with a mark off due to unsportsmanlike conduct on the Cornell bench on the PAT. So now 3rd down and 11, the ball at midfield. Now Chartiers-Houston is going to take a timeout. Boy, the Bucs almost rocked into the neutral zone. Use a timeout here. 4:33 to play, third quarter. Chartiers-Houston defending 3rd and 11 and desperately need a stop.
Yeah, they cannot allow a score, or else it puts them in a spot where things get really unlikely. Really would need a stop right here to keep the time on the clock, potentially get a score, making a one-score game going into the final quarter.
Bishop Canavan, third quarter, leading Monessen 30-7. Trinity will win its first conference championship since 1986. The Hillers rolling at Laurel Highlands 47-0. And we'll head to Bell Vernon next Friday to try to finish off the unbeaten run through the Big Six Conference. Third down and 11. Stuckey rolls to his right, looking to reverse that. Going to get hit and taken down on the sack.
They have not been able to put pressure on Stuckey really all game right there. Still has a lot of time, but the coverage downfield very solid, and Stuckey has to hang on to it and just eat it.
So now the Bucks defense gets the stop that they needed. And Stuckey going to get credit back to the line of scrimmage. So, no, actually loses that yard. We'll leave it at that. 50 on the Raiders side of the 50-yard line. Good snap, pressure by the Bucks, but the kick gets away, and it's going to bound inside the 30 and roll dead at about the 24-yard line. Chartiers-Houston down 2 scores, ball in hand, 3:37 to play, third quarter. Back on the WJPA Sports Network in just a moment.
Whether in the stands or watching from home, show your team spirit with custom printing from Quality Quick. They are your local partner for vinyl banners, fan apparel, and yard signs to help celebrate your home team. Quality Quick has been a proud print supplier for local schools and boosters in the community since 1978. Don't just watch the game, be part of it. Call 724-225-9427 or visit qualquick.com.
Following the game, we'll recognize our player of the game, brought to you by Washington County College Center, operated by Community College of Beaver County. Bucks first and 10 at their own 24. Aaron Walsh alone in the backfield. Quarterback keep, roll out, now sets and throws the ball deep, and there is nobody around. Both the deep receivers had broken the patterns off, but incomplete pass. Time the Raiders brought some different looking pressure. Little stunts on both ends wrapped around, got around the tackles.
Yeah, it's not something they showed a ton of today. It's been, mainly straight rushes or a couple blitz packages. But right there, I really like that. A couple stunts. Get a little funky up front. A game where Cornell's really controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides.
Levy now in the backfield with Walsh. Trips to the left. Tight end set to the right. Deep ball. Downfield, and the receiver doesn't know where the football is. That's the second time tonight that Dom Andrioli didn't know where the ball was.
Yeah, that's a good throw. That's a very good throw from Walsh. Andrioli never found it. And that's right in the breadbasket.
Well, and it was within, half a step. Just never found the ball. Third down and 10 now. Cornell 26, Chartiers-Houston 14, 3:22 to play in the third. Chartiers-Houston facing third down and 10 at its own 24. Tight end Luba set this way. 3 receivers wide to the right. Last time in this set, Luba stayed home. Does again to protect. Pass to the left. Ball was caught and contact made right away, and a reception going to be good for very little gain. On the catch, it's Brody McCreary, and he's slow to get up. Just a yard on the pass play. Tough to get 10 on that play, even if the pass is right on target and it was back behind the line of scrimmage, and McCreary had to go up and make the grab, and that got him tackled almost immediately.
Yeah, I think that's. I don't love the play design right there. I think everything has to at least be at this point funneled towards that first down line. Doesn't need to be all of it. You're in a situation where if you get close enough, it's certainly 4 down territory as far as As far as the score goes, I would say you have to be a little more aggressive, but right there, that gives you no chance.
McCreary to his feet and jogging toward the near sideline. Will have to go off. Chartiers-Houston facing 4th down now. 4th and 9. And, well, you just look back, the middle play of this set, they had Andreoli open and the ball thrown in the right spot, and just for the second time tonight, inexplicably, Andreoli just cannot find the football. So 4th down, single man back to receive. The punt is Khalil Johnson. Kick is away, and it's over onto the Cornell bench. And, I mean, very short punt. And now we're going to get a flag. The Cornell, one of the Cornell players rolling a Chartiers-Houston player on the ground and then almost shoving him, and flag comes from the near sideline. That was certainly a dead ball foul. You got to mark where the punt went, and they're going to mark it out of bounds to Chartiers-Houston 40-yard line, but then from there should have 15 yards back. Personal foul against Cornell. So that'll take the ball back to the Cornell 45. Well, the Raiders in some fashion have lost a little composure here after intermission.
Yeah, and it's really what you don't want to see if you're at Dawson. You have a team that in the first half controlled every aspect of the game. It should be one where you get your guys calmed down. You don't have to worry about things like that. But there's been some chippiness. There's been some really inexplicable post-play penalties. Just weird. You gotta really have to try to rein things in here.
Well, and the other thing, you don't want the clock stopped. You don't want long delays of standing around. Cornell just really dominated that first half. Running play, here we go again. Khalil Johnson started forward and then took it to the sideline and is going to run for about 25 yards.
Whoa. What's the official doing right now?
The wing official chased Johnson clear back in the middle. There has to be a flag.
Yeah, he put his hands on him too. It's just weird. Saw that. You can see it on replay here. I've never really seen that before.
Well, I don't know that we got a flag.
I'll be completely honest with you. That's really poor by the officiating crew right there. If you're going to have a reaction to that, throw the flag. Don't put your hands on the player.
1st and 10 at the 32. MJ Stuckey just weaving his way through the Chartiers-Houston defense and to the sideline inside the 25.
And Cornell has to be thinking about one thing here. Get in the end zone and try to finish this off.
Line of scrimmage will be the Chartiers-Houston 24, so Stuckey good for 8. And he hobbled off the field. Now it'll be Khalil Johnson straight ahead, and he's going to pound it forward for 5, maybe 6, and a first down.
And another penalty coming in here.
Well, the one thing that the conversation with the back judge and the referee had after the previous thing with Johnson is that everybody wearing a striped shirt has got their eyes on number 20.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, which way did this is this penalty going?
He just, I'll say it, Johnson needs to come out of the game. He just stumbled out, and he's on the ground again. And he is laboring.
Personal foul against Cornell after the play, the run to the 19. So Johnson got 5 yards on the run. But now the personal foul will take the ball back out to about the 34, and it'll be 1st and 10 there because it was dead ball 15-yard penalty before the ball was marked for the next series. So the ball comes out to the 34, and the stick should move. And they're going to move the down marker only. That's not right. High school fixed this years ago.
I really don't like how this officiating crew's handled this half of play, I'll be completely honest.
It is showing at the moment 1st and 25, but it should be 1st and 10. Stuckey, pass up the near sideline for Collington, and a pass is intercepted. With the pick, it's Julius Livingston. The first turnover of the game for Cornell. 1:10 remaining in this third quarter. And the Bucks get the ball back.
That was a really weird sequence right there. And big kudos to Chartiers-Houston for taking advantage of it. You know, at some point, your players just need to go make a play, and Livingston goes and gets that ball, fights the receiver for it and through the air, and is able to come away with it.
You know, on the one side, Cornell has to get control of themselves because if Chartiers goes down here and scores here, then your tension level just ratchets up, and you better have control of yourself before that. 1st and 10 for the Bucks, and I can't see the yard line. Pass play to the near side is caught by Lubin. He'll step out of bounds. Looks to be at about the 12. Looks like a gain of 5, so we'll guess at the 7-yard line to start the possession. 1:03 to play, third quarter, 26-14. Cornell with the lead. Third catch of the second half for Jake Luba. Wide receiver goes in motion. That's Luba. Running play coming to the right, and Andriole snowed under, and now a flag flies, and now should be another one. There it is. Chartiers-Houston player, helmet ripped off, and there's another one over there.
There's 5 flags on the field right now.
Yep. The officials have just absolutely failed to control this situations. Now, there are flags aplenty to deal with the fouls here, but Andriole running play. And I think there was a holding call going to end up in the middle of that. But then there were dead ball fouls after the fact.
It looked like 3 different spots there were dead ball fouls. There were at least dead ball fouls on each side of the field.
We get, and now Cornell takes a timeout. I don't know that did we see a holding indication?
No,
it was just an unsportsmanlike conduct. And Ed Dawson uses the timeout to talk things over with 55 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, I've never seen anything quite like that right there, what I just saw.
Couple of score updates for you. Halfway through the fourth quarter, Norwin 21, Kenna McMillan 21. Kenna Mac wins that game. They clinch a 6A playoff spot. Bentworth, 42-0 final over Mapletown. Waynesburg 33-6 lead on Charleroi. Trinity 48-0. Carmichael's 28, West Green 14. That's at the end of 3. Jeff Morgan 40 and Avella 0. Not sure how the ball goes clear from the 12-yard line to the 37. That's 25 yards.
Yeah, they called 2 separate penalties there.
Okay. Bucks 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Running play, Andrioli over the left side, and linebacker Johnson hits in there hard. And now Khalil Johnson playing peacemaker, coming over and getting Isaiah Dawson out of the mix.
Yeah, Dawson wanted a flag for a late block there. And, you know, I can see his argument. I certainly think that it was close enough to the whistle, but with how this game has gotten, I wouldn't have been surprised to see a flag come out either.
I have Cornell with 106 penalty yards in the game. 2nd down and 9. Pressure coming. Walsh rolls to it, then away from it. Now throws sideline. Andrioli makes the catch, and this one he didn't, I don't know, he saw it at all, and all of a sudden it's in his hands, and he's out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
Oh, what a great throw from Walsh. He's able to really send the rushers in a different direction and make a great throw across his body.
And we are at the end of the 3rd quarter. Cornell 26, Chartiers-Houston 14. 12 minutes left to play. We're back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
You deserve a bank that drives your business. One that's with you for the long haul and knows how to keep your business rolling. At Washington Financial, we pride ourselves on delivering customized solutions, ones that are built for the unique journey your business is on. Go with the bank that gets you. Washington Financial Bank.
Join the team at Schweinebraten Bus Company, a family-owned business in Washington. Schweinebraten Bus Company is hiring. Earn highly competitive wages with paid training and sign-on bonus, plus holiday and loyalty bonuses. Learn more. Call 724-222-4113. Proudly serving the area since 1929. Schweinebraten Bus Company, the shiniest school buses in town. Looking for great drivers like you. Call today, 724-222-4113.
Referee Anthony Rodolini is in a hurry to get this one over with. It was about 45 seconds from the end of the quarter indication to the ball mark for play, including the walk from 127-yard line to the other. Walsh with a play fake, dumps the ball off, catch is made, and the play going forward for about 5 yards on the pass play to the right side. Luba, the receiver.
It's a little quick play action into the flat, the throw a little high, and Luba didn't grab it cleanly, and it allowed the defender to come in and pop him. That was Terrell Pettis.
5-yard completion to Luba. Bucks on the move, 11.5 minutes to play in the ball game, but down 26-14. Chartiers-Houston with 180 yards total offense through 3 quarters. Cornell with 314, but also over 100 yards in penalties. Walsh, play fake, sets and throws, has a man open, catch is made inside the 15-yard line. That's going to be a first down.
That's a tight window to throw that into, and Walsh delivered a good pass. It looked like the defender was maybe going to have a shot, but good box out on that reception.
Who made the catch, by the way? Was it McCreary?
McCreary.
Yep. So the ball at the 15-yard line, that's 7-yard completion. I have Walsh now 11 of 20 for 130. 3 catches by McCreary, including the only touchdown. Andrioli running right and lunges forward to the 13, picks up a couple. Eighth play of the possession coming up. So drive started with the Livingston interception back at the 7-yard line. Bucks have used a little over 3 minutes to this point. 2nd down and 8 at the 13. Walsh with Andrioli beside. Both go out in the pattern. Walsh rolls near side, and now will try to run with it. Cuts back to his right, inside the 10, stays on his feet, and gets to about the 5, and that's close to a first down.
Yeah, that was a great run for Walsh, and be interested to see if he got it or not.
That ball's at the 5-yard line. That should be first and goal.
Yep, they're moving it. Oh, not moving it. They're moving it out.
8-yard run for Walsh. Now first and goal at the 5. 26-14 Cornell. 9:10 to play in the ball game. 2 blocking backs right side. Walsh rolls that way, put a foot in the ground, cut back to his left, and Walsh gets stopped at about the 1. And Andrioli with a block to get him to the bend, and then Walsh cut back. They're going to put the ball down, let's call it the 2, so Walsh gets 3. Here's a situation the Bucks do not want to take very much time here.
Yeah, we saw them do this already, though, in the third quarter on their touchdown drive.
Wash High 62-0 win over Carleton. That's a final. Second and goal. Andrioli, left side, lunges forward and into the end zone.
We got a ball game here.
Clock ran 3 seconds off after the whistle, but we're stopped at 8:15. We'll stick with that. 8:15 to go in the 4th. Andrioli's second touchdown tonight.
It's been an inefficient outing for Andrioli, but 2 scores. He's had some big carries in this game.
Good snap and hold the kick. DeZora boots the extra point home. Cornell 26, Chartiers-Houston 21. 8:15 to play. Don't go anywhere. Kickoff on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
Friday Night Lights brings our communities together, but too many families in Washington County are being torn apart by opioid addiction. I'm County Commissioner Nick Sherman, and I want you to know you're not alone. Help is here. If you or someone you love is struggling, call our confidential hotline today at 724-228-1234. Together we can fight addiction and build a strong future for Washington County. 724-228-1234.
My Dream Field has a scoreboard with a giant TV.
My Dream Field has dugouts for our mascot to dance on.
My Dream Field has lights to play at night. And a duck pond.
CNX is making dream fields come true by donating millions of dollars throughout Appalachia. Nominate your field at cnx.com/dreamfields.
Kickoff goes to the far sideline, and down at the Cornell 40-yard line, the Raiders cover the ball. Angel Osorio gets on the loose football. Didn't handle it cleanly, ended up sitting down, and ball was between his knees. Reached down, moved it, and then rolled over on top of it to keep possession. And now here come the Bucks again in need of a stop. Cornell in need of possession.
Yeah, and Cornell can't take any bad penalties here. You cannot take that 15-yarder.
Isaiah Dawson comes wide to the near side. MJ Stuckey tossed to the near side. Khalil Johnson dropped for a loss of about 4, maybe 6.
That's a big play to start this possession.
A loss back to the 34-yard line, a loss of 6. Khalil Johnson ripped off a 48-yard run early in the ball game that put him over 1,000 yards rushing for the season. The Bucks have tried to keep him bottled up here in this second half. Second down and 16. Stuckey with a play fake, dumped the ball off, pass caught Littlejohn. And Littlejohn stays on his feet, lunges toward the midfield stripe and close to a first down.
I love that play call right there. Chartiers-Houston bit on the toss the previous play. You go right back to it, but this time you fake it and you decide to tuck it and throw.
Well, the announcer said first down. It is not. It is 3rd down and 1. At 15 yards on 2nd and 16. Third down and 1. Stuckey hands to Johnson, and Johnson makes it a first down and then some. He powers forward for about 8. Just a straight ahead run.
Yep, just put it right in the chest of Johnson. He powered forward, and he was able to get a few yards after contact.
That pass to Littlejohn, by the way, good for 15 yards, the first completion of the second half. Running play going left with some room inside the 40. The Bucks in need of a stop. Littlejohn on the run. 6:15 to play in the game, and Littlejohn going to get credit to the Chartiers-Houston 35-yard line, gain of 8.
And there's no reason to rush if you're Cornell.
Yeah, they break the play clock, or break the huddle with 25 on the play clock. MJ Stuckey with his hands on his hips, just going to stand there. Now calls for it. Khalil Johnson started up in, cuts it back to his left, and going to get enough to get the first down. New set of downs.
He initially pounded it up inside, then hesitated, a little spin move, and that allowed him to get that first down.
A dominating first half for Cornell. They led 26-7 at intermission, scoring on 4 of 5 first half possessions. They've not found the end zone since, but the Bucks are in need of another stop. Cornell trying to run this thing out. 5:05 to play. Stuckey fakes the toss, and the rugby scrum moves forward for about 5 before finally getting stopped.
Handed it up inside to the man next to him. That time that was Littlejohn.
And again, the rugby pile moves forward 5 yards. Second and 5, clock approaching 4.5 minutes remaining. Single receivers wide each way. Littlejohn and Johnson beside quarterback MJ Stuckey. Now calls for it, hands to Littlejohn, has the first down before the Bucks got a hand on him. And he's down inside the 25-yard line.
Yeah, same type of formation. This time, Littlejohn pulls across to the opposite side, and I think at some point here, might have to see some timeouts start being taken.
Tough, hard running for Latte Littlejohn, 5'9", 180-pound senior. His third rushing touchdown of the night back in the first half. Little high snap handled, handoff, and tackle made. Good job to get on that right away. Johnson's going to lose a couple of yards, and he's slow to get up. Put the ball down, it looks like the 25-yard line, so a loss of 2.
Yeah, Johnson's going to need a nice ice bath after this one. He's not looked healthy in the second half.
Second and 12. Bucks have all 3 timeouts remaining, but the game clock down to 3 minutes now.
Yeah, and there's no use of not using them. I don't know why they haven't yet.
Stuckey on a 360, throws the ball, passes right into the chest of the receiver and dropped. Right into Caden Bauer, and he doesn't make the catch.
Yeah, I mean, Bauer just Hits him right in the chest, but tried to catch it with his body and not his hands.
And that stops the clock, the incompletion. 3rd down and 12 now. Cornell has taken more than 5 minutes off the clock on this possession. They started 8:15 to play at their own 40-yard line. 3 first downs so far. Now 3rd down and 12 at the Bucks 35. 2:51, clock stop. 3 receivers right, single receiver to the left, single back. Pass play to Khalil Johnson. Bounces off of people. And the ball, did the Bucks get the ball? No, they did
Looked
not.
like Johnson somehow fell on it.
And Chartiers-Houston will use a timeout.
Yeah, he made the extra spin. The ball came out, and he was able to just fall and get the right hand on top of it.
And Khalil Johnson is shaken up. The Bucks did come out and make a timeout call. So that completed pass for a loss of 3. Chartiers-Houston now with, I have 1 timeout left now. Used one
I think they said an injury timeout here, but
Dan List certainly went out and asked for the timeout. So,
yeah,
because if not, the clock is going to run, and the referee is checking with Chartiers-Houston. Are you using a timeout? And I think the answer has to be yes. You can't let 25 seconds run off here.
No chance. And if you're Cornell here, what do you dial up? I mean, obviously, this isn't a punt or kick, any type of kick situation.
Yeah, it's 4th and about 15 yards to go. I mean, you can't punt because there's just too many things happen bad on special teams. If you're Cornell, you can't punt. What are you going to gain? If you kick it too well, it goes in the end zone. You gained, 8 yards.
Yeah, it's much more worth it to just try to go for this.
2:38 remaining in the 4th. Cornell will line up to go for it on 4th down and 15 at the Chartiers 28. Empty backfield. Stuckey steps up. Got grabbed by the jersey, ran out of that, now throws the ball for the end zone and overthrown, incomplete, and the ball will go over on downs. Chartiers-Houston defense gets the stop. They have 2:28 to work with. The Bucks need a touchdown.
What a turn of events here in this game. I mean, talked about it how in the first half completely dominating was Cornell, but it's really been, Chartiers-Houston's taken advantage of some Cornell mistakes, but it's been in large part due to the Raiders just have not been able to stay out of their own way.
First and 10 from the 28-yard line. Walsh hands it off to Andrioli, and that play goes nowhere. And I'm not sure Andrioli got back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. Well, we'll call it right back to the line. Walsh to pass, dump it off, and Andrioli doesn't make the catch. On his fingers, just doesn't catch it.
That's a mistake there, too. If he catches that, he gets the yardage, and he's certainly able to get out of bounds on that.
Final score in the conference, Bishop Canavan 44, Monessen 7. Third down and 10. 2 minutes to play in the ball game. Walsh, pass. Andrioli just sticks a hand out, and the ball is off the mark, incomplete.
And keep going to Andrioli, and it just hasn't worked on this possession.
And it's been a struggle at times tonight. I mean, a couple of other ones. Andrioli has 4 catches tonight, but the 2 here weren't caught. And the other thing is the 2 earlier where they were big gainers that he just never found the football. Now 4th down and 10 for the Bucks. .156 remaining. The defense got the ball back for them, but unable to. Gotta move the ball, and now we're going to get a Chartiers-Houston timeout as they come to the line of scrimmage with no time on the play clock. So that is their final timeout.
And don't think that's a good use of that timeout. Honestly, I feel like the 5 yards there might actually be less valuable than the timeout.
And for some reason, Isaiah Dawson was standing at the Chartiers-Houston huddle.
Yeah, I mean, that's the last possible thing you can have right here for Cornell is to give Chartiers-Houston a free first down.
4th down and 10. Chartiers-Houston trailing 26-21. They have the only scores in the second half. But now out of timeouts and less than 2 minutes to work with. They need 72 yards, but they need 10 yards first. Out of the timeout, the Bucks come right to the line of scrimmage. Dadrian Walls, the wider of 2 receivers this way. 2 wide to the right. Single back. Andrioli in the backfield with Walsh. 4-man rush. Walsh, pass to the near side. Ball is caught by Walls, and he goes out of bounds. Let's check that. It is not Walls. It's Brody McCreary, and it's a first down.
Yeah, McCreary really has.
I'm not sure he caught the ball.
Yeah, it looked like he bobbled it. I'll be completely honest with you. On replay, that did not look like he completed the process. I think that ball may have even hit the ground, but does not matter.
12-yard completion and a first down. Ball at the 40, 1:48 to play. Again, 2 receivers wide each way. Walsh steps up in the pocket, now spun around, ran out of a sack, and then gets something out of it forward to the 42, a gain of 2.
They got to move quick. That clock's ticking.
Receivers back on side, center over the football. 2nd down and 8. Bucks trying to get lined up. They got to get stopped. Everybody set. Walsh takes the snap. 4-man rush. Walsh rolls, now reverses, brings it back this way. Trying to find somewhere to throw, and now runs up into the tacklers and is sacked. The Bucks can't stop the clock. Loss back to the 37, loss of 5.
And I don't know why Walsh ran that up in. He still had space. You just have to get rid of the football there. You can't take a sack.
3rd down and 13. Twins each way, 4-man rush. Walsh throws the deep ball, looking downfield. Pass is almost intercepted, but it falls incomplete. McCreary, the intended receiver, and Dawson breaks it up. Now the clock stopped with that, and the Bucks face 4th down again. Opportunity to win the clinch a automatic playoff spot comes down to this now. 4th down and 13. McCreary starts to the right. Now Luba trips right, 2 receivers to the left. Blitz coming. Walsh gets rid of it. Down the middle. It's caught by Luba. Good for a first down. Bounces off of contact. Makes a move to the outside. Luba got the sideline, and now he wants to try to get to the boundary, and it is a first down for the Bucks at about the 20-yard line.
What a play right there. Luba catches it. A good throw from Walsh, and then right there he gets popped. Stays on his feet. Johnson didn't complete the tackle, just tried to hit his guy down, and
the clock's winding.
Run.
They did not get out of bounds, though. The clock is turning inside at the 19-yard line. Walsh, quarterback draw. Got to get to the sideline, and Walsh does. He runs out of bounds with just 5 seconds to play.
Nope, got one play here.
And Walsh got out of bounds, but right at the line of scrimmage.
What a game this has become.
Well, the Bucks have hurt themselves in some regards with clock management, but battled back here. Now need 19 yards in these final 5 seconds. Andriola beside Walsh. Walsh rolls away from the blitz. Throws the ball for the end zone. Has a receiver there. Passes. Caught for a touchdown. The Bucks have won the game.
Unbelievable. That is unbelievable. There was some hand fighting at the ball. I'd like to see a replay right at the catch. It looked like the receiver did get a little subtle shove. I don't know if it was enough to maybe get a call.
Big high rainbow ball, and McCreary with the reception for the touchdown, and the Bucks clinch a playoff spot with a tremendous second half comeback and a 72-yard game-winning drive.
That's one of the bigger collapses I've ever seen.
And we are in the stands here, and it is...
yeah, this is not good.
Well, if you've ever been around a football coaching box, you can imagine what's been going in and out. And as the pressure mounted, as the situation intensified, the shouting in and out of both coaching boxes got a little louder and a little louder. And now, unfortunately, it is... in some regards spilled out here into the crowd, and we certainly hope that that ends. But my goodness, and here's the other thing: the Bucks did not. It won't matter because they don't need the WPIL tiebreaker. But the touchdown, without the extra point, I don't think they're going to try the extra point. They are not. Handshakes and all that, and the officials are gone. But so it's going to go 27-26, Chartiers-Houston. 19-yard touchdown pass as the time winds down, and Chartiers-Houston, to be honest, steals the win here tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to be quite honest, too. I have to point out the first fourth down conversion, that was not a completed pass. I think that a big reason why this game got as ugly as it did on the field and with the stands and everything, the officiating in tonight's game was really just all over the place, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, there were multiple situations where it wasn't controlled. It was not a game under control.
Well, and I mean, there was the example of Khalil Johnson gets a big play, first down, tosses the ball on the ground. Instead of throwing the flag, the official gets up in his face and puts his hands on him. That's something that has stuck with me really since I saw that. I've never seen that before. Quite frankly, I don't think that that's something that should be accepted.
27-26, Chartiers-Houston a winner. The Bucks clinch a playoff spot for the first time since 2001. We'll recap it for you when we come back on the WJPA Sports Network, presented by CNX Foundation.
At Slovenian Savings and Loan, they understand you want convenience. That's why their mobile banking app allows you to bank from anywhere, anytime. They also know there's no substitute for personal, one-on-one service from someone who cares about you and your family. Founded on honesty, integrity, and trust in 1925, and that will never change. Big enough to serve, small enough to care. Slovenian Savings and Loan on Boone Avenue in Strabane. SlovenianSavingsandLoan.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The October meeting of the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame is coming up Thursday. For just $10 a year, you'll have the chance to help share the stories of our region's rich athletic tradition. All members will have the opportunity to nominate athletes, coaches, officials, and contributors for consideration for induction at next summer's banquet. Our next meeting is Thursday at 7 p.m. at Pony Baseball Headquarters, next to EQT Park, the deadline for nominations. Join us and be part of something exceptional. The Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame.
In sports and in life, accidents happen, and sometimes people get hurt. The doctors at Advanced Orthopedics and Rehabilitation specialize in orthopedic surgery, joint replacement, foot and ankle reconstruction, hand and upper extremity surgery, sports medicine and rehabilitation, and game time medical services. With main offices near Wild Things Park and offices in Waynesburg, Charleroi, McMurray, and on Vanadium Road near St. Clair Hospital, you can count on Advanced Orthopedics and Rehabilitation.
What a ball game. Cornell dominated the first half, led 26-7 at intermission. And Chartiers-Houston looked like they might just run out of time. And even to the point where I talked about the times that they let time run off, that they could have stopped it and didn't. And then they get the out-of-bounds play. And then with 5 seconds to go from the 19, Walsh avoids pressure. Jason, can we go to the touchdown, the final play? Watch, those of you watching on our YouTube channel, I mean, immediately a blitz comes from his left side, and he spins away from it, and it keeps the play alive, rolls to the near side, and then big, high rainbow ball. You'll see pressure coming right now, and a good move by Walsh to get open, and then he's well protected, throws downfield, and Brody McCreary there to make the catch, and the Bucks win it as the time had run out. Now Khalil Johnson there begging for an offensive interference call. I got to tell you, with what happened earlier in the game, Khalil Johnson's not getting a call there.
No, yeah.
I mean, it's going to have to be two players shoving him or something.
It wasn't even him on the play there. It was actually Dawson in coverage. Dawson didn't even contest it. I think he just started walking the other way in defeat, and that's one of the more unreal games you'll see, really, to be quite honest with you. You have to give credit to Chartiers-Houston. They took complete advantage of the mistakes when Cornell made them in that second half. The big plays that needed to be made were made. There 2 fourth-down conversions on that final drive, and the touchdown that virtually was a fourth down, one play to decide the game.
Let's go back and recap the scoring for you. Cornell scored on 4 of its 5 first half possessions. Opening possession, 65-yard drive, 5 plays. It was M.J. Stuckey to Isaiah Dawson, 16 yards for a touchdown. A bad snap, though, on the PAT, and that's a recurring kind of theme. And when you realize it's a 1-point ball game, you can do the math and see how that impacted. So 6-0 Cornell, just over 2 minutes gone in the opening quarter. Chartiers-Houston got a first down, but then had to punt the ball away. Cornell started at its own 2-yard line, 98-yard, 8-play drive, capped by Khalil Johnson's 14-yard touchdown run. Tried to throw the ball for a 2-point conversion to make up for the missed kick earlier, and that pass failed as well, so the score went to 12-0. Bucks with an answer. 61-yard drive, 4 plays. Walsh to McCreary, 16 yards for the touchdown. Tommy DeZora's extra point made it 12-7. But the Raiders answer right back. They get the kickoff return to the Bucks' 40-yard line. 4 plays later, it's Stuckey to Dawson again, this time for 27 yards and the touchdown. Extra point kick, no good, and the score stood at 18-7 Cornell. And teams trade possessions. Chartiers-Houston turned it over. A fumble lost on a snap that Walsh was not expecting. Maybe have come too soon. He wasn't ready for it, and they turn it over there, get a stop defensively, and then a first down interception thrown. Isaiah Dawson with the pick, and Cornell took over in the midfield area. Went 58 yards in 10 plays. Latae Littlejohn scoring on a 3-yard run. Johnson then ran for the 2-point conversion, and the Raiders took a dominating 26-7 lead into the locker room at the half. They never scored again. Chartiers-Houston came out, drove the field on their opening possession after intermission. 54 yards in 8 plays. Dom Andrioli scoring from a yard out. DeZora's extra point, 26-14. Teams trade punts. Cornell then with the ball inside the Chartiers-Houston 20-yard line, but a personal foul on Cornell backed them up to the 34, and that the play you just saw on the YouTube, the interception by Julius Livingston gave the Bucks the ball at their own 7-yard line. A 93-yard scoring drive. Andrioli caps it from 2 yards out. DeZora's extra point made it a 5-point game. Cornell chewed up the clock, took more than 5 minutes off the clock on their next possession, but they gave the ball up on downs at the Chartiers-Houston 28-yard line. Bucks convert a 4th down on a 12-yard pass play to McCreary at the sideline. Jack talked about it. We talked about it at the time. Don't think the ball was caught, but officials rule it a catch. Bucks get a first down at the 40-yard line. A couple of running plays and an incomplete pass, and then the big grab on this possession, literally before the touchdown, the 43-yard reception by Luba, bouncing off a contact and ended up getting the first down at the 19-yard line. Walsh, with the clock running, sprinted for the far sideline to get the clock stopped and ran out of bounds at the 19 with 5 seconds to play. Bucks set the play. We showed you Walsh had to roll out because of the outside blitz that came. He spun and rolled away from that, bought time, stayed behind the line of scrimmage, I think, and then threw the ball into the end zone for McCreary to go up and make the grab, and the Bucks win it with no time on the clock, 27-26. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was a game that if you would have told me the result at halftime, I would have laughed in your face because it was really such a disconnect from one half to the next. And as I've said, I have to tip your cap to Chartiers-Houston for what was really an excellent comeback, an excellent moment for the team and the program to get back to the playoffs for the first time in a few years. And to do it in that sort of fashion and that type of emotional game, it's a huge moment for all those kids and all those coaches.
Total offense, Cornell, 261 yards rushing, 346 total. Turned the ball over in that second half one time, their only turnover in the ball game. Chartiers-Houston finished with 74 yards on the ground, 204 passing unofficially, 278 total, 2 first half turnovers in the game. And as we mentioned, the win tonight clinches playoff spot for the Bucks. They improved to 4-2. Still a game back of Bishop Canavan and 2 back of Fort Cherry. The Bucks conference schedule is over. They'll play Northgate next week in a non-conference game, but the Bucks 6-3 now on the season overall. Cornell drops to 2-3 in the league. Monessen also at 2-3. Those two will play next week, and the winner there will be 4th and will be 6-4. The loser will be 5-5. I still think it's very possible that both of them make it to the tournament as wildcard invitations. I really think this league is capable of getting 2 wildcards this year. We'll see how all that works out next Saturday when we get that final word. But wow, what a ball game! Ugh. Didn't see that coming at the half, did you?
No, not at all.
Time to recognize our player of the game, brought to you by Washington County College Center, operated by Community College of Beaver County.
Start strong and stay local. CCBC's Washington County College Center gives you the edge to get ahead. High school students can learn to fly before they drive with our Aviation Academy. If helping others is what you do, let us help you. Advance from LPN to RN and open new doors in your healthcare career. Or get ahead in college by earning general education credits. No matter your path, we're here to help you move forward. Learn more at ccbcwashington.com.
And wow, what a finishing drive. And this is going to cement our player of the game. A 12-yard reception on 4th down. And let's get a look at that play first of all. Here coming right to us, right down below us. Wasn't sure at the time. It was a catch. Going to slow this way down. Walsh throwing to McCreary. Put it right on the mark. And he comes out, and, I mean, he's on the ground. He may have had it before and then dropped it again.
Yeah.
He had feet down and the ball in his hand. The Raiders immediately were signaling incomplete. But McCreary with that catch to get the Bucks a new set of downs. They would get another one on a pass play to Luba. And then the final play of the game, 5 seconds remaining. And the pass play to the end zone. And somehow Brody McCreary makes the grab and gets the touchdown. Great roll here by Walsh. Quarterback, it's done great. And, yes, he did stay behind the line of scrimmage. And somehow the defender allowed McCreary to get in front of him. That was Isaiah Dawson, who played a tremendous game for Cornell. And he just somehow let McCreary get to the ball. And McCreary makes the grab. And for his finish tonight, Brody McCreary, our Washington County College Center CCBC player of the game, 5 catches, 55 yards, the first and last touchdowns for the winning Chartiers-Houston Buccaneers.
Yeah, I mean, he made it all his catches were at big moments, and he had the one said a little bit questionable, but on replay it's certainly one that you can say that you can make the argument at least that he completed the process before dropping it out of bounds. So I won't go too deep into that. Really a great play on the final touchdown. Just really boxed out the defender. And in that type of moment, you have to probably expect the officials aren't going to – they're going to be a little bit more lenient, to be completely honest with you. Late in games like that, a lot of officials don't want to be seen as taking the game into their hands. So, McCreary, subtle little – I don't want to say push, little hand fight right as the ball's approaching, and figured out a way to box out that defender and make the game-winning grab. Really, really excellent job by Brody McCreary in this game, and the Chartiers-Houston team would not have been in it without him.
Tonight's game on the WJPA Sports Network has been brought to you in part by Advanced Orthopedics and Rehabilitation and Advanced Surgical Hospital. By the Washington Greene County chapter of the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, celebrating our region's rich athletic tradition. By Slovenian Savings and Loan, big enough to serve, small enough to care. By CNX Dreamfields, making your dream field come true. By Washington County Human Services, take the first step toward a healthier life. Call 724-228-1234. Coverage also brought to you by Schweinebrauten Bus Lines, the shiniest school buses in town, and they're looking for drivers like you. By Washington Financial Bank, for 125 years, proud to be the bank that gets you. By Quality Quick Printing, your Team Spirit printing headquarters since 1978. Online, qualquick.com. And by Washington County College Center, operated by Community College of Beaver County. NFL Preview, Insider, Fantasy Forecast open our busy NFL weekend tomorrow morning at 7. And with the Steelers' loss to Cincinnati last night, we have an NFL triple header for you on Sunday. New England, Tennessee at 12:30, Colts and Chargers at 4, and the Falcons at San Fran on Sunday Night Football. And on Monday night, Twin Bill starting at 6. Bucks and Lions meet in Detroit. Houston in Seattle in the nightcap, all on WJPA AM. W&J heads to Latrobe to take on St. Vincent tomorrow afternoon. The President's looking to extend a 3-game win streak that has them alone in first place in the PAC. President's Football Preview airs at 12:30, kickoff at 1 on WJPA AM and online. Next Friday night, we've got the Century Conference Championship game as Washeye heads to Dormont to take on Seton LaSalle. The two tied atop the Century standings. The winner likely claims a first-round bye in the 2A bracket. And our other game next week is yet to be determined. Once we make that decision this weekend, we'll post it on the WJPA Sports page as soon as we finalize our plans. Thanks to head coaches Dan Liss and Ed Dawson, athletic director Bill Sacco, and the entire crew here at Cornell. For my partner Jack Sacco, floor director Jason Tennant, Brett Gambita and Joey Cipoletti on camera, and Dan Flynn producing in our downtown Washington studios, thank you so much for being with us. From Frank Lettieri Stadium and the Cornell School District campus here in Coraopolis, I'm Bob Gregg. Your final score, Chartiers-Houston 27, Cornell 26, clinching a playoff spot. This has been a presentation of the WJPA Sports Network.